Well, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. I'm not important. I'm just a question asker. Waiting on everybody else to get in here with us this morning. We got a topic we're going to talk about today. We got a topic that we're going to talk about today that I think you are really going to enjoy. It's going to ask a question. It's going to, again, as I say, pull back a few layers. It's going to pull back a few layers on a couple of things, and hopefully, it's going to open up our eyes on certain things. You know how we like to do, man. We stir it up. Sometimes in order to wake them up, you got to shake them up a little bit. And so we're not. We don't mind shaking them up a little bit. We don't mind shaking up a little bit and getting things going and getting things operable. Is that a word? Is that a word? Well, if it is, if it not, I don't know if it is or not. But my thing is this: I want you all to give us a call as well. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We love to have your input on good morning, me. Okay, interesting name. Good morning, Aaron. Good Arnold. I'm sorry. Good morning, Arnold. Good morning to you. Got quite a few people that's coming in. And as I said, the phone lines are open 508-924-3521. Love to have your input. Love to have you listening in. But I want to hear how you feel about certain things that we talk about. I want to hear your input. What do you think about it? Are we right? Are we wrong? Now, question is one. I got a question. Cassidy, good morning to you, Cassidy. Good to have you. If your child, you're the adult husband, wife, you've been married to your spouse for a long time. Y'all got children. If one of your children were to come home, and this just I guess a random question, but I want to know what you think about it. I heard it was actually addressed on the radio this morning when I was getting dressed, and I said, I don't know how I feel about that. But if your one of your children came home and they're married, they're grown, adult kids, married, and they came home to visit you. They live out of state. They came home to visit you with their spouse. Y'all in the bed. You wake up about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and they're in the room across the hall from you, and you hear sexual activities going on in that room in your house. Is your child and their spouse. Say if your son and his wife, or your daughter and her husband. And see, it might be a double standard when you're talking about the girl. So I want to see how y'all feel about this. Next morning, you wake up around the breakfast table. Do you even mention it? Do you even say anything about it? Or do you tell them next time y'all come here, y'all get y'all a room? Y'all making all them choo-choo train noises and all over the house. Y'all can't be doing no, y'all need to get y'all a room. Y'all do what y'all want to do in y'all room, in y'all hotel room. But here in my house, I had to go to the bathroom sometime 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I get up out my bed. I don't want to hear. I love you. Yeah. And so my question is, and give us a call 50. The phone lines are open 508-924-3521. 508. Now they're married. They're married. They're husband and wife. They're husband and wife. They're married. They are they've been married, and they're gonna do marital things. There's some kind of marital activities that they're going to do. Is it okay for them to do it in your house? Is it okay for them as a married couple, in love, young folk? Used to be young folk too, so you know how you do. If the wind blow a certain way, you get hot and horny and bothered, and you want to scratch certain things. Is that okay? Is it okay in your house? Eddie, good morning to you. I want you all to give me a call. Big O, I'm definitely counting on y'all this morning, man. Y'all give me a call. Tell me what y'all think. Put some comments on the thing. I try to read the comments if you have some, or give me and definitely give me some of them hearts, all the little fancy stuff y'all be doing, them hearts and all the stuff be running across the screen. Show me some love this morning. Show me some love this morning. I'm Matt. Good morning. Show me some love this morning. But my thing is this right here. If your child, child, adult married child, come home with their spouse, and they decide they want to stay in your house, in their own home, the house they grew up in. They want to stay in that house with their spouse. 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, you wake up. You go to the bathroom, like you do. Old folk, they have to go to the bathroom in the night sometime. They wake up and go to the bathroom. It happens. And when you get up, you in there taking care of your business and realize your child across the hall in your house, taking care of their business. Is that wrong? Is that wrong? Next morning at the do you go knock on the door then? Hey, what y'all doing in there? As if you don't know. Do you go knock on the door then? Do you wait till the next morning breakfast while y'all sitting around at the breakfast table eating breakfast? Do you say it? Do you even mention it? Do you even bring it up? Is it room for discussion? Now, they are married. They are husband and wife. They're husband and wife. They're doing marital things like you used to do. You did it too. That's how your child got here. That's how they got here. You did it too. Okay. Now, do you discuss it at the breakfast table? Do you tell them what the parameters are in living in your house? Is that one of the parameters? Or do you tell them next time y'all come, we're gonna get y'all a hotel? Your mother and I, or your father and I, gonna get y'all a hotel room, and y'all can have all the happiness y'all want. The number is 508. Let me send it to you. Cause this, Apostle. Good morning, Apostle. Let me see. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521 is the number. Yeah, definitely give us a call. Chris, good to have you. ID, that's anonymous person, I guess. Good to have you as well. But I want to know what you all think about this, man. Yes, it's your child. Yes, it's your house. Yes, it's your child. Yes, it's your house. But my question is, let me see. Let me close this here. Okay, I just sent the number 508-924-3521. Yes, it's your house. Yeah, they're your kids. I understand all that. All that's good. But we got Captain Leonard. Captain Leonard, excuse me. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem and the Morning Glow family.
Man, I'm stirring it up this morning, man.
Are you?
I'm stirring it up this morning. Yes, Lord. Yes, sir. Because I want to know how you feel about this. And we gotta let me see your call. Your cell number. Okay. Okay, good deal. I had a couple of things going on there. But Leonard, you're a grown child. You're a grown child. And I want to know whether is it different if it's a male or a female child. I want to know whether there's a difference. But your male child come to visit you. They live out of state. They come to visit you. They're married now. Them and their spouse come and visit you. They live in they're gonna stay in the room across the hall from you and your wife's bedroom. 2 o'clock in 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, Leonard, you wake up. A lot of time 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, you gotta go to the bathroom. You wake up, get up, go to the bathroom, go in the bathroom, take care of your business. But while you're in the bathroom taking care of your business, you realize your child is across the hall taking care of that business too. Now, what do you do? Do you knock on the door at that time? Do you wait till the next morning around the breakfast table while y'all eating breakfast? Do you have a discussion with them and discuss the parameters in your house while they're in your house? Do you tell them, look here, next time y'all come, I'm gonna get y'all a hotel, and this is why? Or do you just mind your? What do you do, Leonard?
I mean, why would you? What's the problem?
They're doing their business in your house.
They married, right?
Yes.
Did you tell them they could not?
Well, a lot of times you wouldn't think that I wouldn't think that they would. So no, we didn't have that. To answer your question, no, sir. That wasn't a conversation.
I mean, did they wake you up?
No, you woke yourself up to go to the bathroom, but at the same time, you could hear the activities going on over there. You're like, oh my God.
I wouldn't stay at your house no way.
Mm-hmm. You wouldn't stay at your parents' house.
I mean, not if my parents had them type of issues.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, you don't know whether they have an issue because this is something that never happened.
Then don't bother me.
Mm-hmm. Then whoa. You now you're the parent in this whole scenario.
But
you're
I'm
the
grown.
Parent, so, no,
if I'd have known you had a problem, I wouldn't stay in your house.
No, Leonard, you're the parent. and your child, and you are the parent,
Yeah, I heard what you said.
yeah, okay.
I would leave your house.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I would leave your house.
Okay, and that might be a good thing.
Right, because
That
you
might be a
should have
good thing.
said that before you invited me to stay.
But you ain't thinking they gonna go in there and be a lot of it. I'm gonna tell you something. If I want to stay in my mama house, I ain't gonna me and my wife. No, not in my mama house. Nah, man, I'm not
That's
gonna do it.
probably
I'm
why
not
I
gonna do
wouldn't.
that. I'm not
That's
gonna do that.
probably another reason why I wouldn't stay at my mother's house.
Mm-hmm. That's absolute reason. When I go out of town, and I ain't trying to get too much in my business, but when I go out of town, I get a hotel. I don't care who, my brother,
Right,
my mother. I get a hotel everywhere I go.
right.
Everywhere I go because
But you should tell people that before you invite them to stay at your house.
again, you don't think a lot of people don't think that their child will come
I
there and
think
do
like that.
nothing. And not everybody think that way. Not
Yeah.
everybody think that
So
way.
I don't know why
Mhm.
that would be such a big deal, because unless you had a rule, because the child probably remembered the rule as being they couldn't have sex with nobody until they was married in their
Mhm.
parents' house. And
Mhm.
so that they were married, they would have no problem having sex in their parents' house,
Mm. I don't know.
because that would have been the rule.
Mhm. My thing is this right here, and again, the lines are open, and everybody got the same way they feel about. See, me and Leonard, we don't agree on this, and that's good. That's good for conversation. But at the same time, I feel differently. I would not. It had to be me and if my mother's and my parents' house. I'm not gonna go there and get all willy nilly in my mama house. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not. If I feel like if we got this itch, we got this urge, mama, mama, thank you, mama. We gonna go get a hotel room tonight, though. We ain't got to go into discussion why we want to get a hotel room or what the reason is. We ain't got to get into that. But mom, we just want a little privacy. I just say it like that. We want a little privacy, because my thing is, and then one of the reasons why I do get a hotel room everywhere I go, if I want to walk around, in a nakedness, in my nakedness, I want to be able to. I want to have the freeness to do that. And if I got a hotel room, I close that door. I can do what I want to do in that room. That's my house at that moment. Hmm. But like I say, a lot of times I don't. I would like to know, do people have that discussion? And give us a call, because I want to know. But I don't have that discussion, because I don't think that my children, and two of my daughters are married. I don't think they will come here and stand with their husbands and doing this, especially now. If we gone and they're in the house by themselves and ain't nobody there, probably so. They probably gonna get it in. You know what I mean? They probably gonna get it in. They're there by themselves. But in the middle of the night, everybody in the household, everybody supposed to be quote unquote sleep. All closed eyes ain't sleep. All closed eye ain't sleep. Old folks say that all the time. And so I just give us a call, 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. Let me know what you think about this. Is it okay? Leonard says it's okay. Mind your business in your house, with your rules, but mind your business. You invited me to stay here, so you invited my habits to stay here too. Basically, is what I'm hearing.
I just don't know why you would barge in on two
I ain't gonna.
married people having sex.
I didn't say I was gonna barge in. No, you didn't hear me say that. Now you add stuff to my equation. Now you ain't hear me say that. I say, would you knock on the door, or would you wait until the next morning at the breakfast table and have a discussion with them? But barging the door was not a part of what I said. Now I know ain't nobody barging in no door.
Oh well, I mean, I just I don't I don't think I would intrude or anything, or make any question about it. I mean, make a joke about it, if anything.
Mm,
But
my
I'm
thing.
not gonna be acting like I'm mad because you was getting your freak on that.
I think that to me, and like I said, everybody look at things, view things, and deal with things differently. I think there's a level of disrespect there. In your parents, in your parents' house with your mother and your dad, you with your parents there at home, and you in those activities, partaking in those activities. I think there's a level of disrespect there. I think that if you want to do something like that, if you want to, and it's natural, just like I said earlier, it's natural. Your mother and your dad did it because that's how you got here, and so it's not like they didn't do it or have not done it. That's true. But my thing is, if you want to do something like that, spend that extra little money, go get you a hotel. If it's just it's just for that night. Mama, mama, we gonna hang out late tonight or whatever we're gonna be, and I don't want to come into your house after a certain time. We're gonna get a hotel. I see you tomorrow. I see you tomorrow. And let it and let it be like that. Now, whatever y'all doing at the hotel room, hey, that's just what it is. We got a call, man. This is and I caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm sorry. Good morning, y'all. This is Letitia.
Letitia.
I'm calling
Good
from.
morning. Good morning.
Hey,
Good morning, young lady. You been listening in on us this morning?
I called a piece. Yes,
Okay.
I wanted to call in.
Okay, I want to know what you think now, and like I said, me and Leonard don't agree on this, and that's good. Truth of the matter, I like it when me and Leonard don't agree, because we're gonna go, man, we're gonna play tennis all day long. but my thing is this right here, teacher. You, if your child, and we put you in the scenario of being the parent, one of your grown children, married grown children, come back in town. They live out of state. They come in town to stay with you. They're gonna stay with you for the weekend. They're gonna be there for the weekend. You wake up 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, go to the bathroom, take care of your business. You realize, wait a minute, my child is over there taking care of their business too. You hear it. Do you knock?
Okay.
Do you go knock on the door? Do you at the breakfast table the next morning? Do you have a conversation with them about the parameters as far as your household? Do you say that, look here, next time you come, we're gonna get you a hotel, man? We're gonna get you a hotel, or do you just mind your business? How do you handle that?
Okay, so I'm talking from the parent's perspective here,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay. Well, first off, they're married.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yes, it is my house. Because I have a daughter, she'll be 22 this year. She's not married. I wouldn't allow that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with them being married, I actually would, yes, I would offer them to stay at my place. But if it's my daughter and she has a husband, um, in my mind, prospectively, he's the head, so I would expect him to, not want them to, stay in my house. But if that was the case, I don't think, oh, I honestly don't think I would say anything. And if I did, I would not say it in a upset manner, because that's what I chose to do. They're married. I should know that they're encountered in, sexual activities.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have to shield myself. This is what you should have known before you let them in the house. If I'm going to let them in, knowing that, first of all, if I'm going to let them stay with me, I should know that's going to happen. And second, I don't think I would. If I did, I would have to stomach the fact that I can't feel no type of way,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're married. So if I am going to find a way to stomach that and not have no upset way about thinking about it, then I would say it in a joking way. If it's a problem, then I should have thought about that before I invited them in my home.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. And like I say, everybody's not going to agree. I feel a little differently than that, because I would think that if it was me and I was on the other side of the spectrum, and as the child, not the child, but um the son, as the son, I wouldn't want to stay if I had itch like that and I wanted to do something like that with my wife, and I am married. We've been married 25 years. Um, I would automatically stay at a hotel. I wouldn't do it. I'll explain to my mom, look at
Exactly.
my mom, look at here, man. And I would probably say to them like, we're gonna be out late tonight. We're gonna hang out tonight. Or mama, I think we want some privacy tonight, so we're gonna get a hotel. And I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
I see you tomorrow. But
Yeah.
as far as me actually doing the horizontal mambo in my mama house, oh no, I know, no.
Exactly. That's what I say. You're asking it from a parent's perspective, but the parents should know that they're married. But I had to diverse it. If it's the child, I wouldn't want to even stay with my parent. We're married.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, hey mom, um, we're grown, we're married now, so we don't want to disrespect your home. We don't know if there's something that you're gonna be okay with. I don't know if you understand, especially if the parent is already married. We should understand what comes with marriage, because with marriage, God gave sexual activities is a privilege to a married couple.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's kind of like, mom, you have no reason, honestly, to even trip. Now, the parent has every reason to have boundaries for their household, but in some situations, we have to understand the situation. They are married. So if I didn't want to expect that, I should have put that on the front line when I'm offering them to stay in my home.
Mm-hmm. But see,
hey, look, y'all gonna stay in my house. Y'all gonna stay in my house, no sexual activities, and that's when, if the son is already not stepping forward and already saying, well, like you said, Mom, we're gonna do this. You're not gonna stay there. Then, yeah, that's just that. Honestly, how I feel. I can see people having, boundaries in their house, but since they're married,
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's and again, like I say, I definitely feel different. And another thing, I don't want my parents to hear me getting down. I don't no, man. I don't want you to hear that.
Yeah.
I don't want you to hear me doing my business.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, okay, is the perspective from the child thinking about, am I disrespecting the parent? But we're talking about the parent here per se. I feel like they should kind of have that in their mind frame. They're grown. You're inviting them in their home. Two married couple, you want them to stay in your home knowing that they already have sexual encounter.
Wow, it's a lot tied up into this thing. Charles, good morning. How you doing this morning?
What's up, man?
Hey, doing good. Charles, I got a question going. I want to hear your input on this thing, man. You have married children. You have grown children. If one of your grown married children were to come home, they live out of state. Say they live wherever they live out of state. They come home to visit for the weekend. They're gonna stay in your house. Y'all having a good time. The day is going by. You so happy to see them. Now, 1 o'clock in the morning, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, you wake up to go to the bathroom. Grown folks sometimes, get a certain age, got to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. Okay, so you get up to go to the bathroom and handle your business, and you realize your child is across the hallway handling their business with their spouse, and you're like, oh my God. And then all of us, what do you do? Do you go knock on the door? Do you wait during the morning breakfast next morning, say, look at here, and have that discussion with them? Do you say that next time y'all come, we're gonna get you a hotel, y'all stay in a hotel or whatever? Now you speaking from a parent standpoint.
Okay, go ahead.
They're in your house doing the horizontal mumble in your house. How do you feel about that?
I got boys out. Hey, and they married too?
Yeah.
Dapper at breakfast. What you need, big boy? What you need for breakfast? Had a good night last night. Cause I got boys.
That's a double standard. That's a double standard out there. So I
can have that. If I can have that double standard, it's not a double standard for me because I ain't got nothing but boys. I don't have no daughters.
Okay, but what if it was? What if, hypothetically speaking, for the sake of the conversation, if you did have a daughter?
I couldn't imagine because I ain't got no daughter.
No, you gonna take that out. Okay, you gonna take that out. Okay, you gonna do it like that.
I can just give you what I got right now. For the sake of conversation of if it was a daughter, I don't know, but I do know for a fact what I would do because I have boys. Now, and they're married. Now, if they weren't married, it would be a different situation. But if they're married and they're grown and they're in my house, make sure you clean up them sheets. Excuse my language.
Lord Jesus.
Hey.
They
boys,
That's such a double standard.
But it is a double standard. I don't mind admitting it. It is, and it might be, but I don't have girls, so I might feel different. Now I got a stepdaughter, but she's still like a daughter, but still I wouldn't know because I got boys and I base it off of what my boys would do. But now if their mother, like let's say for instance, if I was married and their mother had a problem with it, then we would go by what she said. On that instance, if she say, well, the next time they come in town, they get in a hotel room. This ain't no. Then I'm like, okay, then. But because you want your baby in this house, she can stay here. He can stay here.
Lord, let it talk to me, because Charles going to go somewhere different, man. Charles.
I mean, I'm on the same page as Charles when it comes to this. First of all, you have to remember, I wouldn't probably have a problem with it. I would probably crack a joke about it or whatever. But I let people know that about being in my house.
Mm-hmm.
If you got rules, you need to tell people the rules when they come to your house.
Mm-hmm.
Up front, and personal, right?
Then they won't come to your house.
Be like,
Mm-hmm.
hey man, I'll be making all kind of noise at night. Y'all ain't none of that
Exactly.
here. Hey, so the first thing they'll do when they get in town is what? Get a room.
Get a room.
And see, and that's the very reason why, like I said, and anybody in my family will call and tell you that that's what I do, man. I go out of town and I love my family, and my family love me, but I'm gonna get a hotel room. I'm gonna get a hotel room because I want my privacy. If I want, like I said earlier, man, if I want to walk around that hotel room bucket naked, if I want to walk around bucket naked, I want to be able to walk around bucket naked.
Well, I don't think it's a real, to me, it wouldn't been a big privacy issue.
Mm-hmm.
If I was on the other end, it would be because there's a rule, like, one, you don't come in my house any time of night.
Mm-hmm.
I already know the rules, so I don't stay at your house.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or if I know I'm gonna be doing something else,
mm-hmm.
I don't stay at your house. But I couldn't imagine, like, say for instance, that's why I was wondering, how would you know they were having sex? Were they just being extremely noisy, or you just happened to hear it when you was going to the bathroom?
Well, like I said, you woke up out of your sleep to go to the bathroom, and while you're in the bathroom, you handle your business. You're like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, I wouldn't be fooling with you at your house.
What that is? What they doing over there?
That's my boy.
I wouldn't be at your house spending the night with my wife if that was the case.
Tisha, what's on your heart, sis? Can you hear, Tisha? Can you hear that? There's a double standard. There's a double standard when it comes to boys and the girls. There's a double standard, man. With the boys, you know, oh, that's my boy. Look at it, boy. You got it in last night. It's just the daughter. You be like,
Yeah, and see, I actually have a daughter that's 22, so I think from my perspective, now that I'm hearing everybody, and we'll bring it down a little bit, because I think I can't think of his name, he was like, I got boys, you had a good night last night. That would be how, men could juggle with their boys. I used to have 2 boys that's growing up, but right now I can point out I have a daughter. And me as a mom, I think in her perspective, I would kind of let her know ahead of time when because of course, just because you're married, I don't want to hear you doing your business. I can respect the fact that you are married, but I don't want to hear it. So before she comes with her husband, I would actually put that out there on the line that
no pun intended. No, exactly. No pun intended.
Yeah, to give them the options right then. Now you go back and talk to your husband and see, well, my mom, she, my mom, just because we married, she ain't cool with us. We don't want to, lay up and do our business. She's not going to be cool with that. So I would actually speak about it up front.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And see, I think we can have 10 people to call in here, and I guarantee you at least it will be a 50-50 type situation on this right here, because first and foremost, from a son standpoint, like I said earlier, man, I don't want my parents hearing me doing my business, man. I don't want y'all hearing me doing my business. They don't. Charles, talk to me, brother.
Yeah, that makes sense. On the end of me, that's why, like Leonard said, rules and regulations before you go in. Like the young lady just said, rules and regulations before you get in the house. But that is true, man. If you don't want the parents hearing your business, then you would get a room. Now, if they insist on you staying there, then you would go by the rules of the house instead of having a room. But, like you go, like you said, wherever you go, you get your own room, you and your wife.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. But, shoot, as for my parents, I'm trying to think, man. My parents, I'm grown. If I'm grown and you let me stay here, Ma, or Dad, then you already know. I'm your son, Dad.
Mm-hmm. You remember you was me.
But I heard you doing your business.
What kind of house is this? This is a house of ill repute. What the?
All y'all just got the freaky dicky going on.
I mean, I'm talking about your mom and your daddy. You heard them.
Right, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, it's a house of ill rebuke. Everybody.
Hey, y'all, look here. Hold on, Martha. Junior over there doing this thing, Martha. Junior over there doing this thing. Roll over, girl. You ain't gonna do me in my house. Ain't gonna outdo me in my house. No. Come on,
It's
Martha.
Wednesday again, man. Here we go.
Come on, Martha. No, we ain't gonna let Junior outdo me in my boy. But he ain't gonna outdo me in my house. Boy, y'all something else. Y'all are something else. But y'all are something.
Hey, man, but that's the truth, though, man. You like, look, if it's a grown person, and it is a double standard, I'll be the first to admit it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess it's a double standard, but I don't have a daughter. It is. So it's a double standard, and it just is. It's a double standard with men and women anyway, in a lot of situations. Mm-hmm. You understand? So that's just what it is, man. I don't mind, saying that. It's a double standard. Am I, what is that called? Am I a hypocrite on that? What did Sheree say he tell people when he first meet him?
What's that? What did he say?
He said, I'm a hypocrite, so don't get mad.
Exactly. And see, that's the thing right there, though, man. And Tisha, is it a huge double standard? Is it that obvious in the society that we live in that it is a double standard when it comes to the guys and the girls, the sons and the daughters? Is it that obvious?
It is. It is. I even think about, even though I'm hearing it now from a father's perspective with his son, I can think of mothers, right? Mm-hmm. A mother may not be okay with her daughter. I'm sorry. A mother may not be okay with him, allowing her daughter to lay up in her house and have sex. But I've known some parents to where the son can just get away with anything. So it is a double standard. That's why they got them, mama's boys, daddy's girls. Mm-hmm. From a mother's perspective. So I can see that, and I actually try not to put myself in that situation because I've already raised my daughter, and now I'm raising two little boys. So I'm a person that thinks further ahead, and I know that the world is set up like that to where in a situation like that, oh no, I'm in here doing my business. I don't want to hear you doing it. This is how we acting with the daughter. Mm-hmm. I'm doing my business. I don't want to hear you, in there doing your business. But
this ain't no competition now. There ain't no competition.
It's okay for the son. Mm-hmm. So it is a double standard. Yes.
Wow, Leonard, from where you're sitting, is it a double standard, man? Is there a double standard? Do we think so differently when it comes to our sons in regards to how we deal with and interact with our daughters in situations like this? Is it a double standard?
No.
Wow.
I don't think so. Unless you're talking about, because first of all, I wouldn't care if he was my daughter or my son. Mm-hmm. If I got rules, I got rules. They apply to everybody. That's why I don't get into double standard issues. Mm-hmm. However, it's your house and it's your daughter. Who else can claim that? Mm-hmm. No one. So you get to make the rules. It does not matter what people think.
So you won't have a problem. You won't have a problem with them participating in the horizontal mumbo in your house.
Well, I told you if they married. I mean, you keep saying it's like this is a bad thing, and I don't understand the bad part about it.
I do think it's a bad thing.
If I didn't know what they were doing, what difference does it make?
Well, because you heard it.
Because I got up and I went to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't being a distraction, were they? They didn't wake you up. They ain't waking everybody else up, are they?
See that part I can understand what you're saying, but I still don't understand. I can't get past the part of me doing these things in my parents' house. I can't.
Well, it's like I said, for instance, I was a person that didn't do that thing in my parents' house.
Yeah,
I've always gotten a room.
Listen to Tucson. Look, Leonard, see, and we together on that. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Leonard. I finish your thought.
But if the rule is no sex in my house, then that's the rule. It don't matter who it is. Mm-hmm. I don't have to be fair in my house. Mm-hmm. That's what you don't understand. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I don't understand why I would be so threw out because my married child was having sex
in my house. In my house.
Well, if I gave them a room and a bed and everything else and let them lay in it, what you thought they was gonna do?
Respect my house.
Why would you say make yourself at home?
Exactly.
No, don't make yourself make yourself at visitor.
Yeah.
Don't make yourself at home because you say you make yourself at home.
I don't over talk nobody. I try not to. But what the heck you talking about?
Tucson. Boy, ain't no telling what we about to get y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all something. This is Tucson, and the views of Tucson is strictly strictly the views of. I'm gonna say it before he says something.
You
Strictly,
better say it.
yeah,
You
because
better say
it is
right now.
not. It is
Because
not the
we're gonna
rules.
be on.
Tucson.
If I think you talk about what I think you talking about.
Oh, we talking about what you think we're talking about. Oh, we talking about that. Oh, we talking about that now. That's exactly what we're talking about. I'm gonna go ahead and let you know. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now that what we're talking about. But listen, Tucson, your grown child live out of state. Live out of state. Come to visit you for the weekend with their spouse. And I want to know whether it's a difference, whether it's a male child or a female child. But they come and visit you for the weekend. Okay, y'all you so happy to see him. This is your child. You so happy you ain't seen him in a long time. Okay, y'all go to bed. Now it's 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Sometime in the middle of the night, you have to get up and go to the bathroom. That's what when you get a certain age, you do that. And when you go in that bathroom to handle your business, you're in there handling your business, you hear something, and you realize your child is across the hallway handling their business in your house. Do you go knock on?
Y'all quiet down.
If anything.
You go
knock down.
Do you go knock on the door at that time, or
and go back to bed? I ain't gonna knock on that door.
Doing the breakfast in the morning while y'all having breakfast? Do you have that discussion when next time y'all come? Man, your mama gonna get y'all a hotel room, or just tell the parameters of your house. Don't
Rahim, come on, Rahim.
I'm the question asker, brother. I'm the question asker,
okay,
brother.
well, let me set the record straight.
Mm-hmm.
For me, okay.
I see you, Jay.
I'm sorry, I don't know how to approach this, really, because I'm gonna get mine. I don't know about nobody else.
You better tell him you from Opelousas.
You ever heard, Leonard? Had you ever heard the expression?
Bruh, he ain't heard about it. Don't even talk to him about it because he don't know. He ain't from Opelousas.
You go right ahead if you want to.
When you talking about it, the trailer.
Y'all making too much. No. Y'all making too much. No.
Right. You tell them if they making too much noise.
Yeah, we need some extra pillows.
Now, sometimes you might not be doing the right thing.
Lord.
Faking out. Y'all be tough. You see, some of these women and men too. Y'all know it don't take all that noise. You can breathe. You can actually breathe slow.
Oh, he getting all this. Oh Lord, see, that's why I say I had to tell y'all the what he is expressing is this expression of himself. It is not the expression. It is not. I know the Lord.
I need one more.
So talking about breathing techniques.
1 more minute, because see, somebody's gonna take a bath sometime or another. And since we in the shower, leave the water running.
You look.
We ain't from Opelousas. He don't know nothing about it. He don't know.
We ain't got no clothes on while we in this shower.
I'm just saying.
Exactly.
I mean, that's just strange to me that you would be like that. Like I said, I'm like Tucson. I mean, if they were just making some wild noise and it was disturbing, hold it down.
And see,
and go back to bed.
And see,
go right back to bed.
Maybe my country is a little different from you all's country, but my country is country because and the reason why I said
one more other thing. One more other thing. Wash them sheets.
Say.
When y'all leave here.
We'll need you to get that laundry.
But see, and
I told you.
My thing is right. My thing is right. Maybe my country is a little different from you all's country. But my country raised me that I'm not gonna do that in my family's house, in my parents' house, man. I'm gonna get a hotel room. I could do it, and I ain't gotta worry about them limitations y'all talking about, the pillows, extra pillows. I get a hotel room. I can do it the way I want to do it. That's they expect when you go to hotel, you do what you want to do, how you want to do it, and all kind of flavors you want to do it in. I'm not gonna do that in my parents' house, man. Maybe I'm cut different, man, but I'm not.
Right here, one more other thing, you gonna make somebody lie this morning.
Some people gonna lie. Hey, some people probably is gonna lie about it, but I'm just saying, and that's
somebody lying right now.
Exactly, and that's the very reason That's the very reason why when I go visit any family member, not just any family member, I get a hotel. I get a hotel room. I stay in a hotel. Like I said earlier, if I want to walk around in a hotel at 12 o'clock at night, bucket naked, with not even a piece of thread on, I'm gonna be able to do that in that hotel. That's what I could do. I pay for the hotel to do what I want to do in it. Jay, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart? What do you think about this whole situation, man? And earlier they said it's different. These charge words now. If it's my son, I'm a pound the chest, and that's my boy. It's a little different if it's your daughter, though. It's a little. He don't have daughters, but he said it would be different if he had daughters. Jay,
I thought this was wild. I thought this was Wild Out Wednesday for when I first came on, but it's Thursday.
Yes, sir. Yes,
but,
sir.
There you go, Jay. There you go.
Yeah, I have three girls. I have 4 boys. There's definitely a double standard.
Yes. Yes.
Now again. I mean, when I was unsaved, I didn't mind. You do you, because I'm already going to do me. Mm-hmm. At the same time, now that I'm saved, sanctified, and Holy Ghost filled, you first have to be married. None of my children are married, so ain't nobody come to my house and get no freaky deaky on. Mm-hmm. So they already know that. Now, as for me being the son, the rules were opposite for me because my mom was a single parent. So I snuck women in there, or girls and things of that nature. So there's definitely a double standard. But I'm already. You guys had me laughing since 7 o'clock this morning already. It's crazy.
And see that's where, and I understand what everybody's saying. Everybody got their own perspective as to how they feel about this, man. This subject is something else. But me personally, I could only speak for myself. I would not. You know, like I said, go get a hotel and I could do what I want to do, how I want to do it, when I want to do it, why I want to do it, and how long I want to do it. That's just what it is, man. Go ahead, Charles.
I don't need my 3 minutes.
You don't
ain't got for 3 minutes. Oh, there you go. I was just going to say that. I was just going to say, if I'm saying the same thing to Son said, I'm putting myself in the corner.
Put yourself in the corner, yeah. Look, man, look here.
But seriously, if it's marriage, if it's the difference to me, the only difference to me on this thing is marriage.
Amen.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? If they're married, because being married and sexual intercourse, that's what it's built for. Mm-hmm. So being married, like if you're married, it's a different thing. But if you're bringing your girlfriend over my house, y'all ain't even sleeping in the same room anyway. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You understand? But if you're married, it's different. Engaged and she got a ring, I don't know. I don't know. But I know marriage is the difference to me. That's that's just the different part to me, being married, being married and things like that. So because if you're not married, then you ain't got no business doing that anyway. You know, I had those, my mom was the same way. And I was just like what Jay was saying. I was sneaky dicky freaky, I was thinking man,
pretty much.
So are you telling me you ain't never I ain't gonna even go there with you, Raheem, because
don't.
Who said you gonna get somebody a lot?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Somebody gonna be lying today.
But somebody gonna lie today, man.
Go. Hey, you can ask a question, and I answer the question as honestly as I can.
You telling me you ain't never snuck nobody in your parents' house?
I never said that.
I never have.
I never said that. I never said that.
I never have.
Mm-hmm. You never have?
No.
You never have?
No. I wouldn't do it at my mother's house.
Wait a minute, you stuttering, bro?
No, I wouldn't.
Thought about it, you stuttering. So go ahead, go back. I know you're older than us. So you might have got to go back to remember.
No, I just
you might be a little bit older than us, Leonard, so it take you long to remember.
I wouldn't know. I didn't want my mother and really them to know my business, so I wouldn't do anything in her house.
Okay.
And plus, I wouldn't be able to enjoy myself.
Mm-hmm. Because you're too busy looking around.
Yeah, I always had some other resources. So
there you go.
I didn't have to do all that in my mama's house. So
that joker said you always looking around.
Had another resource.
You're looking around, look around.
That's what he doing.
Yeah, I ain't even trying to be out here like that, really. Never.
Right.
Tucson, talk to me, brother.
Y'all got me doing sound effects.
Man, we're gonna have to have a wild day for Thursday because y'all never stop.
Exactly.
Throw it out the window Thursday.
I'm like everybody else now, because if you're not married, I got enough problems just living.
Mm-hmm.
But to have that y'all in the same bedroom in my house and you're not married, that ain't gonna happen. I
No.
don't know where y'all gonna stay.
Yeah.
But y'all not gonna sleep together here.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing. My son had children, and he had a girlfriend, and he said, looking out for my grandchildren, can we come stay with you? No.
Mm-hmm.
Love you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna move to Mexico. Well, son, learn the language and don't drink the water.
Mm-hmm.
But you ain't gonna come stay here.
Mm-hmm.
He been in Mexico ever since.
Mm-hmm.
But they ain't
Lord.
saying
508.
Send the son over the
yeah,
border.
give him the number.
From
my
Opelousas. My
number.
man from Opelousas. Y'all don't know how it go.
Not a
It
chance.
is what it is.
You got to leave the states.
Exactly. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We love to have your input on this particular conversation, man. We all think differently. We all got our different. It's certain lines that everybody would not cross, but I don't know, man. 508-924-3521. I don't know, man. I can't do it. Let's go back to let's go back to Tisha. Tisha, what's on your heart? So talk to me. Give us a young lady's perspective. What do you think about this?
I mean, we talking about a married couple, so number one, I can't put too much emphasis on it as it being wrong because they are married. If I'm allowing them to come in my house, if I'm offering them to stay in my house, then I know they married. Now I heard somebody saying that now it's a respect level. If you do decide to stay with your parent, there are ways to do it. You ain't got to be all loud and all wild and making all that noise and stuff. It's a respect level to me from both. Just on both.
Yeah.
The parents should respect that they are married. They should know that they are married. So expect that. If the child do take the offer to go and take the parents' offer, then if you in there, you're gonna be doing your stuff, then have some respect, for your parents.
Mm-hmm.
So I know it's kind of simple, but that's just how I see it. It's a respect thing from both angles.
Put your hand over his mouth.
Yeah, something like something.
The pillow effect.
You can almost have sorry intercourse and be quiet. Like
Exactly.
Honestly, over the years, it's better when you're not making all that crazy noise. When you're fighting back from putting all that out there. So,
yeah. If you got them on the baby monitor, there's something wrong with you.
Lord, we got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Lord Jesus,
that's nasty.
Good morning, it's Rosalind.
Rosalind, good morning, Rosalind. I know you've been listening, sister. What's on your heart, man? Who's right? Who's wrong? How does this thing work?
Oh Lord, I got a 7-year-old daughter, so it's definitely gonna be different for me. Mm-hmm. I don't think I would allow her. But that's coming from me because all y'all kids are grown and mine is just 7.
Mm-hmm.
So
I got a 14-year-old.
Different from her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Linda said he has a 14-year-old.
And I have a 22-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 23-year-old and a 21-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
So
I got 4. Always. But my thing is this right
here. In their 30s.
Now, Rosa, if you were the daughter, and you go stay with your parents, would you and your husband would you allow your husband to participate in certain activities in their house?
Oh yeah, we have. I was married before, and there was an incident where our home had got damaged,
mm-hmm.
and we stayed with my mom for like a year or so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we did. She didn't say nothing, but we was married.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't say nothing. I guess I don't know if she didn't hear us. I mean, I don't know, but she didn't say anything, so I guess it was okay. But my mom never been married, so
mm-hmm.
I kind of respect her house, but she didn't say anything. I mean, of course, she know that we probably was gonna do that. We stayed there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's all about respect. I don't know. Would I do it now? No. I like my space.
Mm-hmm.
I like my privacy. So I'll probably just get a room now.
Yeah, exactly. Joyful J, talk to me. Talk to me, brother.
Yes, sir. I mean, again, there's definitely double standard, but at the same token, when I was younger, 15, 16, however age I was, my mom was single. She wasn't married, so she realized me and my brother, we had the basement all furnished and everything else with a back door. So, of course, me and my brother, we had people coming over and things like that. But, thank God there was no girls in the house except for my mother. Mm-hmm. Now, my grandmother, she was the holy roller. And we saw her every Sunday. We were made to go whenever we went. My girlfriend would come to church with us. Mm-hmm. I wasn't even allowed to kiss my girlfriend at the church or sit next to her, really. Mm-hmm. That was a double standard. My mom wasn't saved at that time. My grandmother was.
Yeah, exactly.
And so me and my 6 brothers who lived in the house with my mother, we pretty much, we respected mom because my mother was crazy. She chased my brother with a bat one time and a hammer. But because she had to be rough around, 7 boys. Yeah. At the same token, she was a little lackadaisical with that because my mom, she had parties every now and again on Saturday nights, and she had her friends over, and we couldn't say nothing because that's mom's. Mm-hmm. But at grandmom's house, when you went to grandmom's house or granddaddy's house, you had much respect. Yeah. So that's what I think the difference was.
Okay, good. And Leonard,
y'all had a man cave.
Oh, amen.
Yeah. They got it in, brother. 7 boys.
That's why I got 7 children right now.
Yeah. They
one of the reasons.
Exactly. But Leonard, is that a part of the difference? Your parents compared to your grandparents. If it was your grandparents, would the ideology be the same?
No, my mother had the same rules that my grandmother had. However, my wife's people doesn't mind. Mm-hmm. But then again, that's why I made that joke. Mm-hmm. I told my Tucson from Opelousas, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Have at it.
It's a different mindset.
Have at it. That's a joyous thing. Mm-hmm. Then hopefully some fruit gonna come from there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So especially if you're married. But my mother and my grandmother on my side didn't tolerate it. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, my grandmother told my wife specifically that when we came, she said, "Won't be no laying in arms tonight, sweetheart."
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Period. Wow. Just like that. I mean, it wasn't it's her house. Mm-hmm. And if you don't like her rules, you go stay somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And also, like I was saying before, I wasn't set up like that to be doing that type of thing. I mean, that was my mother's house. Mm-hmm. So it never would, because I wouldn't be able to enjoy myself. So I probably wouldn't do it. And that's probably was the biggest thing for me. And it was a rule that I shouldn't be doing that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm laughing at Jay. Yeah, I was saved, whatever and everything when I was little. So it wasn't no big rules. Them type of rules wasn't no big deal. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You just didn't do that type of thing. But when I went and I met my wife's father, because my wife, before we got married, she was pregnant. Mm-hmm. She was still pregnant. And like he said, well, hell, you've been there already.
Yeah.
So it did pull them beds together in that room over there if you got to or whatever. Mm-hmm. But my mom and them, oh man, you should have made them arrangements before you even came through there. Mm-hmm. You've been down at the Sheraton.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Room 447. Room 447. Get it in.
My wife even had to laugh.
Well, Leonard is saying, know thy people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Know who you fooling with.
Mm-hmm. Right. Coming there like that because you go get embarrassed.
Right. Like everybody
know which house you got. Know which house you got the freedom.
And you know what I told my older son? And I don't know if y'all talk to y'all. Ain't nobody effing in here. Mm-hmm. But me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's where I said the double standard came with me because my oldest boy.
Nobody doing number 2.
My oldest boy, all my children, my boys and my girls. At 10 years old, I sit down and have a talk with them. I say, listen, there's you know, I'm not telling you, I'm telling you what the Bible says, but you make your own decision. I'm just going to inform you of the pros and cons before you do anything as far as sex in the beginning. And then as far as doing it in my house, my girls definitely know. Oh no. Now I can't. My daughter's 21. She'll be 22 on the 27th. Actually, today, what's today's date? If it's April 27th, today's my daughter's 22nd birthday.
Days the 28th, brother. You missed it.
Oh Jesus! See, that's my brain injury again.
But I ain't got no brain injury. I forget mine. So yeah,
but at the same, I got as many children I have to keep a calendar. Nevertheless, you know, I'm afraid to hear my daughters because I imagine myself at that age, and I know what I was doing. I don't want any thoughts of my kids or my daughters doing that. Now, my boys, if you're saved and if you're married. Now, because you're not married, I can't do that because I love God and I'm trying to do things the right way now.
See, and that's live with me.
And see, and that's the thing right there, man. What Jay just said, and we spoke earlier about the double standard, and that's why I asked the question: is it different if it's a son or if it's a daughter? And it's very obvious that it is. There's a huge difference, Charles.
I believe that, man, but because the things that my mom, I'm the youngest. So when I got out, when I was in basic training, you know, you finish your basic training, and my mom came up with my then girlfriend, and my dad shot down from Ohio. I was in Kentucky. My dad got me a room, and my mom, my sister, and my then girlfriend, which I married later on, she actually let my then girlfriend stay in my room with me. But I was grown then, so not let me. And I was out of the military. I was a killing machine, you know what I'm saying, by then. So it was time to be a killing machine. But that is, you know, I don't think that she would let my sister do something like that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Now for me, yeah, but I don't think she would let my sister do anything like that. I remember going in high school, our senior trip was going to Jamaica, and my mom's fiance, she married him. We were all together, us three were together, me, my mom, and him, and he pulled out a pack of condoms. He said, "Hey man, be safe." And my mom, she was like, nothing. She didn't say anything. You understand? You know, because that was a dude telling a young man to be safe. Because we already know what you're going to do. You're going to Jamaica.
What you doing with them condoms, Barry? Barry, what you doing with all them condoms? Where you get them from, Barry? No, I'm just saying. Jay, talk to me, brother.
Yeah, I'm just laughing, man, because again, when I would go out and do all these things with my mom. I mean, with my mom in the house, I was comfortable because I saw my mom do it. It was learned behavior, if you will. And so, I mean, I would respect my mom not to, you know, be all up in my mom's face with my lady in the room or in the house or whatever. But I knew that anytime we want to do something, she can say she's leaving. I'm going downstairs, open up the back door, and it's party time. But now with my children, I know better, so I do better. I'm not going to allow my children to do that on any of my children because, first off, I'm with my wife. I have to respect my wife. Same thing, I have to respect her children as well. So even thanks be unto the Most High, one of her children smokes marijuana, and I told him because my youngest daughter is 10. I said, whenever my daughter comes over here, respect me enough to not do it around my child. He does that, so it's a respect level. Now, on the same token, I would never attempt to do anything in front of my grandmother, anything at all, because I knew that was a Holy Ghost filled woman. My mother, not so much. My grandma, yeah, that was a double standard for me.
But Jay, hold on, Jay, with your lifestyle or with the way you was growing up, children don't understand that you can spot the things that they're doing because you did it.
Exactly.
They act like you were born yesterday.
Yes.
Like, I know what you're doing. I did that.
Wow.
I was 15.
Exactly. Leonard, talk to me, brother.
Man, I can't believe my oldest son still lives with me. He's like I said, he's 22 now. I was so grown by then. I had been on the other side of the world and back by then. So, you know, it's different. You know, people are different. You know, and if you set the rule, then that's when you have the issue. If that is the rule. I don't have an issue with it if it's not a rule. It doesn't matter to me if you boy or a girl.
Yeah.
You know, if I got a rule that say ain't nobody screwing in my house, guess what? Ain't nobody doing it. If you don't like it, get out.
Yeah. I got the same rule, man, that a lot of folks have, man. If you're not married, and my brother, man, came to town a couple of months ago. He and his girlfriend, and they were gonna stay. They came Thursday, was gonna leave out Sunday or Monday, whatever it was. They was gonna leave out, and we had a conversation before he got here. I don't want you to come all the way from North Carolina all the way down here to Georgia to Atlanta, and you not know what's going on. Y'all don't be staying. Y'all won't be. You know, I'm gonna show you the closest hotel to where we are. I drive you there. Make sure you're there. But as far as y'all, and that's my baby brother, man. But nah, man, y'all ain't gonna cohabitate in my house.
Like I said, it don't matter to me. The parents, whether they're your kids or not, the rule is the rule.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. I don't care if you a friend just visiting.
That's
If you know me, you know you got to stay somewhere else. I mean, I mean, like I say, if they mad, then you sit around at the dinner table and then want to ask them when they gonna have a grandbaby. Hell, we was trying to have one last night.
You stopped us
on that door.
Yeah.
That's what you think we was doing.
You interrupted us in progress.
What you thought we was doing?
The train was coming. The train was coming.
I was almost there till you said something, Mama.
That's what I was saying.
Save me, Jesus.
Look here, trying to do something like this. Look, trying to do all this stuff. Come here. I'm coming, Mama.
Right.
I'm coming, Mama.
But I prefer established rules to the people just picking. Picking. That ain't cool neither. But for different strokes, it's for different folks. Like one, it was shocking to me. Like I said, to her and her side of the family, it wasn't a big deal. But on my side of the family, it wasn't happening.
Exactly.
And matter of fact, and I think, like some people probably remember, wasn't no closing no doors.
Yeah.
And things like that. Because I know what you're back there doing.
It should be some space between y'all now. There ain't no space between y'all. Y'all too close. Y'all getting too close.
And I established, the rules so well with my oldest son that first of all, we got standards around here, and certain people can't come around here. You and your friends can't be sitting up in here like y'all ain't got nothing else to do or nowhere to go. Ain't gonna be, do just rules.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to have for your kids. I can't imagine how it became popular, but then when you got to think about it, single women allowing your boyfriend or her boyfriend to stay at your house. That's horrible to me.
Absolutely.
Why would you do that? That is not a good example. Now you got your kids screwing just like you in your house, and you wondering why everything going to hell.
They just aim out the boat.
Because you don't have no rules in your homes. And people can tell because your kids don't act like they got no rules or no manners.
There it is, right there.
That's why they wild. Because you wild like that.
That's why I said that was learned behavior for me. Because, like I said, at nighttime I was 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 years old. On Friday and Saturday night, my mom would have a party with her friends. And me and my older brothers, my younger brothers, we upstairs in the bedroom because they told us to go to bed, listening to them have a good time. So I learned that from watching you, as that commercial said with the drugs. I learned from watching you. Now, thankfully, I learned also sanctification because of my mother, because slowly but surely after she got saved, all that stuff went out.
Yeah.
And it was a different thing. But my grandmother, she was saved since the day I was born. So
absolutely. Let me ask y'all a question. We got a badge just came out. I think we got another caller as well. How many of y'all parties? Because I know my party when I was little and I had little birthday parties and stuff like that. It started out as my party. How many of y'all parties turned into a grown folk party? Time for you to go to bed now. It's supposed to be your party, but the party turned into a grown folk party, and all of a sudden now it goes from happy birthday, Raheem. Now, okay, Raheem, time you go to bed now, and then here come all the other stuff out there, loud music and the booze and all kind of whatever they're gonna do. How many of y'all parties turned out that way? Am I the only one? Charles, talk to me, brother.
You know what? None of mine have. I'm gonna be honest about it, and actually, none of my children's parties turned out that way. But I'm gonna tell you what, my nephews and nieces like over my sister's house.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it always turned out like that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
The kid party, you know, but it's never in the same location as like the kids party over at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
And then, or if we have a cookout, and then we move it away to another place. You know, it's never like right there. But I understand what you're having because I got people like that also, that the kids party going at 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock. The kids got to go to bed. It's about the adults now. Yeah.
We're gonna turn this. We're gonna flip this party.
Since we're together.
Y'all in the same place. Hey, Leonard, what you got on my 40?
I mean, if your parents ghetto as hell, I guess. But it's the kid's birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, back then when I was having birthday parties, fathers didn't usually come to parties.
Mm-hmm.
That was a woman's thing, and women bring all the kids. My dad stop in and give you a gift, but he go on about his business.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
right.
men weren't really there at these birthday parties like they are now,
unless they're forced.
Exactly, like bridal showers and baby shower. Men didn't used to really be at those things.
Mm-hmm.
They out having a party themselves anyway. Like the women and the kids in there, the men out in the garage, or if you Jay, you got a man cave.
Right. The last thing a man want to be is around a bunch of screaming, hollering kids. Especially if he's been working 12, 14 hours a day. That's women take care of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a guy, a dad thing.
I can stand here and instead of listening to all y'all heckling and hollering, I can stand here looking at the TV heckling and hollering on the sports, because they're gonna do the same thing. It's gonna be the same noise level, or maybe louder. But anyway, that's just what it is.
Now, we have great grown folk parties.
Mm-hmm. Oh, see, now y'all don't switch. Let me go to Badger. Parties. Badger, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Badger, we talking about you. And Badger, you got boys, so you may look at the same way that the other fellows on here, because they got boys too. But your children are grown. They're grown and they're married. They stay out. They stay in another state. They come to visit you for the weekend, and y'all having a good time. You're enjoying it. You know, all y'all there in the house together. 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, you wake up. You have to go to the bathroom, take care of your business, and while you're in the bathroom taking care of your business, you realize that they over in the next room across the hall doing this having taken their sexual desires in your house. Badge, is that a problem? Do you tell them it's a problem? Do you go knock on the door?
Are they married?
Yeah, they are married. Absolutely.
Oh.
So do you knock on the door? Do you have a conversation with them at the breakfast table the next morning? Do you tell them the parameters of your house, or do you not just
I'm
not
just gonna go back to bed?
So you're not gonna worry about it at all?
I mean, it's called a guest room for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know why people have such an issue with that.
My thing is, and I have an issue with it. I do, but like I say, everybody got their own.
There's no adultery going on.
Hold on, Badge. Everybody got their own way of dealing with it and how they interact and stuff like that. So everybody's different. My issue is, I'm not. If it was me, you're not gonna don't. I feel like you're disrespecting my home, because if you want to do stuff like that, yes, you're married, yes, you blah blah blah, but get your own room, get your own hotel room, and do what you want to do, but not in my house. Because when I go out of town now, even as an adult, been married 25 years, if I go anybody's house, anybody's city, I'm gonna get my own hotel room, because I want to have the freedom to do it. And I don't want to feel as though I'm disrespecting their house in any kind of way. So I will get me a hotel room. That's just how I deal with it. But like I said again, everybody's different. Go ahead, Badger.
I mean, this day and age, it's cleaner to do it at a house that you know is actually washing their stuff than doing it at a hotel with all them germs going around.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, that kind of stuff is just a part of life.
Mm-hmm.
So why my logical brain doesn't understand having such an issue with something of that nature, because it's a natural occurrence. It's just natural.
It could be natural, but does it have to be natural in your house? Does it have to be in your house? It could be natural. It's just as natural in a hotel room.
It's a home.
Like
it's. I mean, they could be doing it out in the backyard or wherever. I mean, I don't want to see it. As long as the door's closed, I don't care. It is what it is.
Okay. And like I said again, everybody feel the way they feel about it, you know, and not everybody's going to agree. But my thing is I have an issue. And that's just me. Maybe it's my issue. Rico, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Man, I can't complain. Welcome to a new day, fellas.
Hey, welcome to you as well, brother. You been listening in to us?
A little bit, you know what I'm saying? I just got back home, but where y'all at now? I know y'all probably on the same topic.
Yeah, we're talking about now, Rico. Now, your children, one of your children come to visit you from out of state. Them and their spouse. You happy to see them? They staying with you. Gonna stay in the room across the hallway. Okay, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, you wake up, go to the bathroom, you know, take care of your business, and you realize at that time they taking care of their business too. They end up doing a horizontal mumbo. Is that an issue, Rico? Do you knock on the door? Do you wait till the breakfast the next morning while you sit around the table? Do you tell them, look here, these are the parameters, you know, this is what blah, 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 or is it just not an issue at all? What do you say to that?
Man, to be honest with you, that's going to be understood way before they even leave your home. That they can't do that, you know. But that would be, you know, and me personally, I don't think that would happen. But if it did happen, that I would handle it the way you said it. But it actually would depend on the relationship between that parent and that child. You know, when I was in high school, I had a friend, mama used to come and she'd leave the house so we could knock someone down. But she'd go upstairs in her room, lock the door, and let us have the downstairs. I'd pick a room, we choose a room, and we see who was gonna win, making somebody get the loudest. So I'm pretty sure she wouldn't mind. And you know, she had that mindset that Badger had. That's natural. People gonna be human. That's why she was so cool in my perspective back then. Man, she's so cool. Even though we were too young to be doing that. So I can imagine if she felt that way then, or maybe that was just the way that was because that was her son. But if she felt that way then, she might be the type of parent now that says, man, I ain't stupid. That's a man and that's a woman. They married. They already got children. Now, once I allowed them to stay in my house, I already knew that was a potential that would go down. So I have to accept the responsibility of it going down and not even say anything. See, me, you never know what could happen. If that is something that you don't accept and you would not allow to happen in your home, whether they're married or not, then what you do is you don't allow them to stay in that home, because in the heat of the moment, anything can happen. You never know. I mean, we are human beings. We've all been through this experience where sometimes you just in a moment, and if you ain't careful, somebody might catch you doing something you ain't supposed to do in the wrong place and wrong time. You just got caught up, and that might happen with them in your home. So I mean, if I say you nip it in the bud from the beginning, because you know that everybody's human, nobody's perfect, and if somebody feel like they can sneak one by you, they will. You know, my parents called me, my mom and my stepdad, they called me and my brother about 13, 14 years ago. Man, I don't know what, man. It was disappointed, but at the same time, it was sort of funny. But they were disappointed. They had to clean out the septic tanks. We done been out there since 1978. They finally had septic tank problems. And then when they went in there, they found condoms left and right. Condoms everywhere. They knew then, oh my God, man, these boys turned my house into a sex shop. I did it, then I turned my brother on to it. I told him the trick, man, this is what you do. They always gone. And so they was disappointed. With that disappointment lets me know that they was more disappointed that I did it in their home. I abused their trust. And I abused their space. And so out of respect, I would know not to assume that I could ever come over there and stay the night with my wife again, because they know I'll do something like that. They trusted me to not be doing anything like that, and they found out later on that I would.
Yeah.
So if that was ever a case with my parents, they'll probably be like, "No, y'all can't stay here."
Wow. And see, and there's a lot of layers in this thing here, man. And there's a huge double standards in this thing right here. But let me go back to Rosalind. Rosalind, what's on your heart, sis?
I just want to reflect on what like Rico said, because before I did get married, we dated, and his mother, like, she had 7 boys and 3 girls, but she did not care. Like, it amazed me, because at that time I think I was 18, and she didn't care. Like, it didn't. I mean, they were married. His mother and father were married, but it was a lot of her boys was not married. It was a lot of things that she allowed, and it shocked me. I was like, I must be in another world. My mama would never. But she didn't care. They brought their girls in and did their thing and went on, and it was crazy.
Wow. And again, I got to go right back to it, man. Everybody viewed this thing differently. Everybody got their own take on it. Jay, talk to me.
Yeah, I was thinking that I had friends, and I would tell them, listen, I'm sneaking my girl. My girl comes in through the back door when mom is upstairs asleep or playing cards or whatever. And it was like, well, my family, some people's families had it where they'd rather them do it in the house where they could watch their children. Same thing with the drug. Well, not drugs, but weed. They'd rather them do it under their care so they could see what they're doing and they could know who's giving them things of that nature. Some parents of my friends' parents had that thought. I'd rather you do it in my house where you're safe than do it somewhere else where, you could be, damaged in any way.
Wow. That's good. Leonard?
Yeah. I'm like on like I said about the rule situation, and even with kids, I have rules. I don't leave things to chance. So it never would occur to me to be a certain way. Like people say the double standard or whatever. Even when I don't have girls, I have 2 boys, but I have nieces, and they all know how I am and my rules usually. So I even had one try to stay with me, but one time, no problem. Let her know up front, this is the rules, blah, 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 blah. Where you going dressed like that? You need to go on back where you came from. So we ain't gonna have no whores coming in and out my house.
Wow.
Plain and simple as I don't even leave it to chance. I don't even play them types of games where, like, I couldn't imagine doing those types of things like Jay say he did and all. I just wouldn't do it. I was very obedient that way to my parents' rules. That's why I didn't have no problem leaving. Because when I wanted to do grown people things, I went and got my own. And my mother was never in my business. So, I was always working. Shout out Nights In. Everybody know where I'm from. When you wanted to go do whatever you want to do, you got you a room. That's what real G's did.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We didn't play boy games. So we didn't even worry about that, man. We keep a room.
Wow.
Buddy got an apartment. A couple of my friends, they had already had their own apartments by the time they was 17. So I had to do nothing like that in my mama.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what we used to do, man. And I'm country as country is, but man, we used to get a hotel room. A couple of us get together, get a hotel room, and we'll make that hotel, maximize that hotel room. We'll take the mattress off the bed, put it on the floor. Somebody on the box spring, somebody on the bed, somebody on the couch. All kind of different.
Just country.
Yeah, we man, look here, we got it in, bro. We
in red clay.
Freaking deacon. Look at the freaking deacon. Ray, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Ray, you gonna make it?
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Here, sir, you all right?
Oh yeah, we got a lot of the skin. Need some moisture so the sunlight can hit it right. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about?
You know them light skin kids.
That's light skin moves.
Can't hear y'all when everybody talk at the same time. We only thing we hear is muffled.
I know y'all see that sunlight hit my skin right now. Don't be jealous.
Good God.
Don't be jealous.
Ray, I'm asking you this question, brother. I want to ask you this question, man. And I'm glad to hear because it's gonna come from a man. What you doing, man? Man, rubbing his mustache and everything. Man, stop all that mess, man. What you doing, man?
Hey, let me take care of myself.
But listen, you and I want you to come from a parent standpoint on this here. Mute your line until you're talking to Ray. You got a lot of background noise coming from you. Mute your line until there you go. I want you to come from a parent standpoint. You have kids, they're grown, married, they live out of state, they come to visit you, them and their spouse. You get up at 1 o'clock, you happy to see them, you get up at 1 o'clock in the morning, go use the bathroom, take care of your business in the bathroom, and you notice that your child is in the room across the hall handling their business, doing a horizontal mambo, taking care of their sexual activities. And you're like, what do you do at that moment? Do you go knock on the door, or do you wait till the breakfast the next morning and have a conversation with them? Look here, we don't, certain things we don't. Hold on now, or do you just leave it alone? What are you doing? And I'm very interested to hear because you come from a different generation. So what do you do?
You're saying that they're already married, right?
They are married, yes.
Like, and then they just doing it in the guest bedroom?
Yes. In your house.
I can just go back to sleep. I mean,
that's my boy.
I don't find that disrespectful. Because they're adults and they're married. So I don't know what's going on in their relationship. So, it's not to say it's like none of my business, but just like in the worst case scenario, say I did say something and it was a time that it was needed, or they were going through something, or so on and so forth. Like, you don't know the full equation. You just know the portion that you see. So they're married. They went there and they went the correct path in what they're doing, and they're in the guest bedroom. Hey, have at it.
So it makes no difference that they're in your house.
No, it don't make no difference.
Okay.
I mean, if they don't like clean up the room and wash the sheets afterwards, that's a problem. But other than that,
Rico.
See, that's logical what Ray is saying, because it shouldn't make a difference. See, think about this. We look at one side of it and we say, well, you know what? This is my house, and ain't nobody supposed to be having sex up under my roof. And that's logical. That's your home. But imagine how unreasonable a person says to tell two married people, okay, y'all in my house, but y'all can't have sex if y'all get that feeling. If y'all get that loving feeling, you might need to drive down the road and park in the woods somewhere, because I want y'all to do something abnormal. And that is not have consensual sex between each other, between married couples. That's very demanding. Now, it is your home, but how open-minded or reasonable can you be? So if you feel like something like that would be disrespectful in your home, you nip it in the bud from the beginning. Just don't allow them now. Because like I said, we were human once before. Just like we were children once before. If I was going in my mom's house at 16 years old, look, I didn't even live out there, but I had a key. So, I went out there to do what I wanted to do. I wanted to go swimming every night for exercise. I go swimming and I leave. And when they went to work, I go out there in the daytime and knock me some down. Couldn't get no hotel room 16 years old until I got wise enough to get older people to do it for me. Then I did it like a real G. I went and got me a hotel room then, because then I could do it all day long, and I could bring 3 or 4 more different girls in there. When this one was done with. So I mean, if I felt like I didn't really want that to happen in my house, I'm like, Leonard, I ain't gonna even allow the opportunity or the chance for it to happen. Because I know as human beings, there may be a very strong possibility that these people start feeling a little frisky because they're in a strange new place. And that happens sometimes when you get to a strange new place and you both enjoying it together and y'all bonding and just having a good time. And then at the end of the night, somebody feeling a little in the mood. They done had a good day today, and it's a strange atmosphere. It's crazy some of the things that would turn people on. But they say you have to spice up relationships, change positions, do it in different places, role play. Well, doing it in my mom and dad's house, right up under their nose, is strange and exciting and new.
Wow.
So it might happen because somebody might reach over there and say, hey, I'm feeling a little frisky.
You sleep.
I mean, that's how we work.
But who says frisky?
Married people, that would be something very interesting to them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I was that parent and I had a 5,000 square foot home, and you had 800-900 feet between bedrooms, but they could live on a different wing, it wouldn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to remember, in the past, some families in these plantation homes had their entire family in the home, all the sons and their wives.
Exactly.
And I'm pretty sure a whole lot of that went on back then.
A lot. And see, my whole thing is, before I do that, hey Charles, look over your left shoulder, brother. What they say? Look over your left shoulder. Maybe it's a mirror. Look over your right. There you go. That shoulder. Yeah. Anyway, it's a joke in there somewhere. But my thing, yeah, there you go, Ray. There you go, Ray. Ray, you get it, my man.
You pervert.
Shameless.
It's amazing how that just popped up on the screen.
Hey, what did you say? Wait, what did JJ? What you call Thursday? What is it called? You said something Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Throwaway Thursday or something instead of Wild Out Wednesday. We're going to throw it out the door.
Throw it out the window Thursday. Throw it out the window Thursdays.
But my thing is this right here though, and I could be different like this, and like I said again, man, maybe everybody have their own perspective, but I couldn't do it. I ain't gonna say couldn't do it. I would not want to do it in my parents' house, man. I just wouldn't want to. And like I say, that's just me. I would go get a hotel room and we stay in that hotel room or whatever the case. And handle our business that way. Dad, what's on your heart?
This is one of those topics that I'm sitting here just going, what?
Let's see, what?
Unless I just missed something that somebody added. What was the most? Did the question change?
No, it's the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. There's a lot of things that I think folks didn't have an issue with until folks in power decided to tell people how to think. And then people started to think a certain way, and now all of a sudden there are certain things that are an issue that was never an issue before. I think there's a lot of thought processes when it comes to things like this, or many other things that come from mistranslations, misdirections, and illusions. Things that used to be so natural and looked upon in a good manner. So question. Let's just say that you're camping, right? And you get two lots that are right by each other, and you're both sleeping in separate tent. Could you tolerate it if it was in the tent that wasn't your own?
But see, I even with that, I find it a little different. I found it a little differently because that's not my home. You're out in the wilderness.
But they borrowed your tent.
I don't. My issue is the home. My issue is the home, and like I said, anything outside of the home, that's neither here nor there. But my issue is with the home itself. With it being in my parents' home, I couldn't do it, and I wouldn't want my children to come. And like I say, if we gone and we out and about or something like that, and they there together and they do something while we're gone, hey, have at it. I don't know what you're doing when I'm gone.
So you just don't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to partake in it. Like I said, if I'm in my parents' house, I'm not gonna do it in my parents' house. I'm gonna go and we're gonna go get a hotel, and that's just where we're gonna handle our business in the hotel.
Well, the whole point of staying at the house is supposed to be saving money from having to stay at the hotel, right?
I ain't worried about the money. I ain't worried about that. I'm worried about how I feel, and because I'm built a certain way. and I'm not gonna do it in my parents' home. You know, if I gotta go and spend money to get a hotel room for that night or for that evening or whatever it is, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not too overly concerned about the money. I'm overly concerned about the principle and how we feel about the situation and the issue involved.
So it's okay to use the tent. It's okay even if you're like.
See, you missing what I'm saying, brother. I'm saying it's not nothing to do with the tent. You trying to pull something else in your equation.
No.
I'm talking about in my parents' home.
Okay, what I'm saying, you said that you don't want to hear it or any of that, right? So therefore, you don't want it in the home. I literally asked if they were two tents side by side, would you be okay with it then?
See, Badger, you miss it. You miss it. What I'm saying, I don't care about the tent and stuff like that. That's not what I'm concerned about. I'm talking about the home. I'm talking about in my parents' home. I'm not talking about a tent. I'm not talking about a tent in the wilderness, something like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in my parents' home. I'm not gonna do it in my parents' home because I feel that there's a level of disrespect there. And this is just me. I could be wrong, but I feel that there's a level of disrespect because I'm in my parents' home.
If one of y'all understand what I'm saying, can you please add in words I'm apparently missing?
I got you, Badger. Can I say this first? Like, prime example, this weekend I just found out me and my wife were going to my sister's housewarming. We're going to my sister's housewarming in Virginia on Saturday. Now, I know my mother's going to be there. My mother-in-law is going to be there. My sister's going to be there. Instead of me and my wife sleeping in that room, in that house, which was the option, I said, no, let us get a hotel room because who knows? This is the beginning of the summer for us. We can start our vacation off right, but I can't do that if I know my mother-in-law's in the next room or my sister-in-law's in the next room and she's having a little birthday party and stuff. I'm not going to do that to them because I respect them.
Exactly.
At the same time as Badger, and Badger wanted us to comment. I think Badger, what he's saying is that's his mother's house. His the people who raised him house. He has respect for the people who raised him, not to subject them to hearing his wildness, if you will. At the same time, even if it's in a tent and you're next to your parents in a tent, if they can still hear you, that's still uncomfortable. That's what he's saying. Badger. It's still uncomfortable because it's the parent, not because of the house. It's the parent.
Okay.
If I'm correct.
Exactly. Let me go to
don't make noise.
Don't make noise.
Lord, I don't know where that came from somewhere. Okay, Ray, I see you, brother. Let me we got another caller from the 404 area code. What's your name? Where you calling from?
LA. I'm in Tennessee right now though.
Hey, LA, how you doing?
Hey, great morning to everyone.
Hey, great morning to you as well, sis. How you been listening to us?
I just started listening and I was like, wait a minute, what are they talking about? Are they talking about doing it at the parents' house?
Yes, let me give you the scenario. Okay, you and I want you to deal with this from you being the parent. Okay, you being the parent first. You got kids, and one of your children went off. They got married, and they live in another state. They came back to visit you. They came back to visit you in your home. Okay. Y'all, you so happy to see them and everything, but at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, you get up, you have to go to the bathroom. You have to go to the bathroom, and while you're in the bathroom handling your business, you realize that your child is across the hall in their room handling their sexual business. Now, in your house, do you go knock on the door? Do you wait till the next morning for breakfast? You say, look at here, these are telling the parameters of the home, or it suggests that maybe they get a hotel room, or what do you do? They're in your house. Your children in your house.
Okay. Okay. So, my opinion, I don't even have sex in front of my dog. I feel like it's weird. So, if I have 2 sons, so I run my house a little bit different. I allow them to have. Well, my youngest son, he's not having girls over yet, but my oldest son, he can have a girl over. I just, put the music on because I don't want to hear it. But I'm different too, though. I don't want to see him do anything. I don't want to hear it. It kind of weird me out. But I do want him to have a relationship, and I don't want him to have to be sneaking and going in nasty hotels, bringing back bed bugs, mice and rats and roaches to my house. I mean, I just don't mind it. I've been married too, and I went to my mom's house. I had a husband at my mom's house. In my room at my mom's. Yeah, you have a fan on. If you want to do something, you just be quiet. I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like it's really disrespectful. She's not at the door. But But I feel what you're saying, like, oh, I just can't do it. But that's just how I feel like about my dog. You know, I don't feel like I feel uncomfortable. But you know, to each his own with that. I don't know. I feel like if you're in the mood, if you married or if it's allowed, people, you know, people ain't really tripping no more. People I think how you come is kind of like old school, where you just, you know, I ain't doing it in my mama's house.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
You know, when you sneak it, make it real good too. So I don't know.
Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus.
Even in the name of the Lord. Even in the name of the Lord.
Tucson, talk to me, brother. She just poured something totally.
Have mercy.
Yes, Lord. Tucson.
Look at here, man.
Oh, Lord. When he start off like that, Leonard, Leonard. Go ahead, Tucson.
I'm just saying. Now, let me tell you something. Y'all talk. Let's reverse the whole thing. I can go way out there. Okay.
Come on.
But you better believe that mama and daddy in there, and you ain't heard it. Thanks. See, they're professionals. Old folks professionals. Y'all are amateurs.
Amen.
Amateurs. Y'all think it's the noise that make it exciting. Y'all ain't learn a thing.
Absolutely.
Y'all ain't learn a thing.
Lord.
You just can't teach some people that. Because let me tell you why I say that. I ain't never heard mom and dad. They was good at it. But they had 12 children.
So they were doing something.
And ain't nobody had heard a sound.
That's true.
Yeah.
Ray? Let me tell you something else.
Okay.
And I'm just saying, Dad, I want to make you proud. You know that grandchild that you always wanted? We're finna go get one right now.
I'm throwing the hook in the water. Ray, talk to me, brother.
I was just wondering, so if the rules aren't pre-established, right, and you see this and you come across this, like I just want to ask you or whoever else finds it disrespectful in what way? Like, because if you pre-establish rules, that's how that's disrespectful. But the likelihood of it happening decreases significantly. So if you happen upon it, right, or if nothing's established, then how is it disrespectful for that to transpire? Like, how are you being disrespected?
I think it's the idea. I think it's the idea surrounding the whole scenario. I think it's the whole idea, and that's that's just me talking. I think is just the idea of doing it in my parents' home, knowing who it is, knowing where I am, knowing all the stuff. That's what I feel. That's why I say it's disrespectful, because there's other options. There's so many different options, man. I could very well go down to the Marriott, Sheraton, or whatever it is, Embassy Suite, whatever it is, and get me a room there, a suite there if I want to, and I could do it all over that place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that you're saying what you're saying, it sounds like it's awkward or weird, but not disrespectful. Disrespectful is like an example of being disrespected would be setting parameters and someone going against those parameters in a malicious or malice based way. Hey, don't talk to me that way. And then they call you an MFer. That's disrespectful. So it's like someone is choosing to do something in that particular manner. Like that's why I'm getting specific with that word, because 9 times out of 10, if you raise your kids with particular rules and parameters and so on and so forth, then they're not going to be disrespectful overtly or anything like that. So when you turn around and be like, hey, you disrespected me last night, they're going to be like, is it disrespectful or are you just hurt or in your feelings? Because disrespect isn't people get this is why people get hurt feelings, because someone says something and they feel as if they were disrespected. No, you just got hurt feelings.
Well,
no, I'm not saying with malice.
it's based on, and I'm glad you said it, but it's also based on intent. It's based on the intent, because a lot of times a person could say something to you with a certain intent. They can say something nice to you, but it can have a vicious intent. They can say something very, it's like that backhanded compliment. They can give you a backhanded compliment, and it wasn't intended good at all. It's a backhanded compliment.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But that's disrespectful because it had a particular intent and ideology behind it.
Yes.
Now, someone doing something void of a rule or void of knowing that you don't like it because it makes you feel some type of way isn't disrespectful. It's just you feeling some type of way.
I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, I still on what I say, man. I just me, and I can only speak for myself. I won't do it in my parents' house. I go get a hotel, and my business is I take care every piece. Believe me, when I'm in that hotel, every piece of business I want to take care of. I want to take care of while I'm in that hotel. Boom.
Save the children, Jesus.
I'm just saying. Way Out Wednesday extended. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Extended.
Leonard, you're muted, brother. You're muted.
Did you say you have done this before, Raheem?
I never said.
Oh, I didn't think so. Next.
Yeah, I never said it. I never said whether I did or not.
Next.
Charles, what's on your heart?
Could you answer? No, wait a minute. Could you answer the question then?
No, I never answered the question. I never answered the question.
Can you? I'm asking you. Can you?
Well, I'm gonna say it like this here. Watch this.
Here we go. Here we go, Jay. No, Jay, don't check it out.
I'm not going to answer on the grounds that it may incriminate me. Incriminate me.
Incriminate.
It may incriminate. It may incriminate.
Incriminate.
I will not answer that question on the ground.
Well, like I said, I like how my man Ray explained it. I enjoyed his explanation.
Yeah. But let me say this.
It's just a feeling hurt thing, man.
Exactly. Let me
because if you got
hold on, Charlie.
Go ahead.
My thing, but truth of the matter, to answer your question though, and like I said, we that's what we're doing here. When I got of a certain age, no. When I got to a certain age to understand, no, I did not. And right. I could just I can't ask the question without
understand what? What did you have to understand?
That to me it was wrong. It wasn't right. And now when I was a teenager, when as a child you do as a child, when you become an adult, you put away those childish intentions.
But you weren't married as a teenager though.
I was not married as a teenager, but when I became see you just helped me out, because when I became married, no, I have never done it in my parents' house as a married man. No.
Well,
never.
you said you would not have sex in your mother's house.
Yeah, but the scenario says this. The scenario that we have on the table is as a married couple. As a married. If we're gonna stay in the parameter of what the question says, my answer to that question is no, I have never.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, because you said you had never had sex in your parents' house before.
As a married
person, he did it when it was.
But not as a married.
I was trying to figure out when did it become so wrong to him.
When he got right. It got wrong when he got right.
There you go.
When he was wrong. When he was wrong, he was doing it, but when he got right.
Like my man Jay clarifies. Jay say, but when I got saved.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
But the thing is, what the thing is that, like Rico, Ray, and everybody saying is that if the rules are set before you even move out the house, I know Rico was saying that if you know your parents before you move out the house, when you're coming back to the house, you know the rules ain't changed. But unless your mother has gotten or parent has gotten saved in between, and then you still know the rules when you come back, because they're gonna let you know. Because if they ain't speaking them a certain way, you ain't been walking there. If your parents are speaking a certain way all the time, you already know the rules and regulations. Well, mama ain't finna deal with that. Dad ain't finna deal with that.
Exactly. And it don't have to be a religious thing.
You're right, and it's just a rule.
Yeah.
Like I said, if they've changed or not, but once you walk back in that house, you telling your spouse, hey, look, this is how I go down in my mama house, or this is how I go down in my daddy's house. Or this how I don't go down to my mama's house, or this how I don't go down to my daddy's house.
Mm-hmm.
Anything other than that will be, as they say, uncivilized.
Exactly. And see, and my thing is, and to clarify, yeah, I'm coming to you too, Tom. My thing is right here to clarify and make it clear, I guess you could say, as an adult, when I realized it was wrong, when as a child you do childish things, when as an adult you put away those childish things and you walk as an adult. And when I became an adult and I was able to look at the whole situation, the whole scenario, I would never would I in my parents' house, I would not. And like I say, I like to think that, and we're gonna talk on the spiritual level. I like to think that God will provide the means for me to go out there and get the things that I need. If I need a hotel room, I will be able to go out there and have the means to get a hotel room, or I just won't go out of town. If I'm not prepared to go out of town to take care of everything that I need to do while I'm out of town, I'm not gonna do it. If I can't, when I fly different places, I rent a car because I don't want to have to depend on nobody else to take me nowhere. I'm not gonna sit here 4 or 5 hours waiting on somebody to free up their schedule to take me somewhere. I'm gonna make sure I got everything taken care of. So if I want to turn that key and go where I want to go, I'm gonna go where I want to go.
I've been like that since I was 15, 16 years old.
There you go.
After Donald, I have something to say.
Okay, Tucson, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, but and y'all know I'm a clown.
Mm-hmm.
But I ain't stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't stay with nobody. When I go somewhere, I'm not staying with you.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, if I'm going somewhere, you can't ride with me.
No. I so identify
with
you.
Hold on. Go ahead, Tucson.
No, I'm not gonna ride with you because when I get ready to go, you might not be ready to
there
go.
You go.
And we're not gonna fall out.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand, but here's the thing that I'm looking at. They married, and if a married couple want to act like married couple, that you can be holier than thou is that it may not seem like you're holier than thou.
Mm-hmm.
You can talk about saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, but God sanctified marriage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So if they are married, there is no issue. Now here's the kicker. Let's get on the flow.
Hey, big fake.
Lord. Badger, go ahead. Go ahead, Badger.
This is mama and daddy's bed. I'm just saying.
Well, I swear that dude remind me of my daddy.
And we get this urge.
Lord have mercy.
I'm gonna catch you in the shower, or we gonna get on the floor.
Good God Almighty.
I'm just saying, I know where he come from. That's the truth.
So, let's say the parents own the cabin out in the some park or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying you wouldn't need
an exhibitionist? Is what I think.
What's that?
I'll tell you later.
Badger. My
doing
thing
it
is
in the park and in a tent.
Yeah, exactly.
Freakishness going
See,
on.
my thing is this right here. You keep taking away from what we're talking about.
No,
this brother wildlife with it. He wildlife with his is what.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Okay, let's say they own a condo in the middle of a city. How's that?
Badger, we talking about the parents' home, brother. We talking about the parents' home.
I'm saying the parents own the condo and they own their own home.
No, that's not the same, Badger. We talking about
why is it not the same?
We talking about in the parents' home that you grew up in. We talking about in the parents' home. You done took us from a cabin to the backyard to the. I mean, brother, let's stay in the house though. We talking about in the parents' house. Okay. I would not do it in the parents' house. No. Go ahead.
So the parents' presence or the parents' property. I mean, we actually making this thing too complicated.
Mm-hmm.
The parents' presence, the parents' property, whatever. The parents or whatever the parents have control.
Mm-hmm.
So for you can't do it no matter where the parents are.
I would go to a hotel room and do it. I don't want to do it, man. I spin off the chandelier and get on top of the dresser and do a Jimmy Snuka dive on whatever it is.
So I heard earlier, the wordage.
Mm-hmm.
The wordage is what did not make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because To me, it's a house, and like Donald was saying earlier, you know, would you have an issue if they were doing it in their bedroom while you were staying there?
I'm not gonna tell anybody. I'm certainly not gonna go tell my parents what they can do in their own home. I'm not gonna tell. You know,
So
I don't feel fool to go in there and try to tell Mama, Daddy, what y'all doing? What y'all doing in your house?
Stop that! Get off of her.
You ought to be ashamed of you. Daddy, get off of Mama. Leave Mama alone.
The reason I'm approaching it the way I'm approaching it is because to me it sounds like it's more of a mental thing than it is anything else.
Okay, that's the way you feel, brother. I don't agree, but that's the way you feel about it. So I just respect the way you feel. We got a lot of people on the phone lines. I'm gonna try to catch up with everybody. We got our Cassandra. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Cassandra, we got a while. This is Way Out Wednesday extended. It's Way Out Wednesday extended. We ain't got to the topic. We're gonna get to the topic in just a few minutes. But right now, from a parent standpoint, I'm gonna deal with this. I'm gonna put it out there like I put it out there before. And everybody that's on the phone line, please be patient. I'm coming to you next. Your children, you have a child that lives out of town, married, lived out of town, came home to visit, and he and his wife, or she and her husband, came home to visit you. You are so happy to see him. 1 o'clock in the morning, you get up to go use the bathroom, take care of your bathroom business, and you're here, they're over there across the hall taking care of their sexual business as well. Cassandra, in your house. Now, do you go knock on the door? Do you wait till the morning breakfast and you say, like, have a discussion with them, or request that they possibly get a hotel? We'll get y'all a hotel room or blah, or do you just leave it alone? What's right and what's wrong about that?
You leave it alone. They're grown people and they married. If they're not married, they can't do nothing they can't even sleep in the same room. That's my rule. If you're not married, you don't even sleep in the same room in my house. But if you married, y'all can do the hooda wherever y'all want. Just don't do it on the kitchen table unless you're gonna clean it. Go to breakfast in the morning. That's all. I mean, yeah, they married. I mean, I don't care. So I would be like, get a boy, get a girl. Y'all married, do the darn thing. No, I don't. No.
Don't nobody care but Raheem. Don't nobody care but
Raheem. I must be the only one, man, because like I said, I see that is very wrong. Willa.
Hey, Raheem.
Good morning, Willa. How you doing this morning?
I'm fine. Good morning, Steve. Good morning.
What do you do?
And still you alone. Because I agree with everybody else. If they're married, they can sleep in the same room. But if they're not, they can't sleep in the same room in the house.
So you won't have a problem. You won't have a problem with them doing the horizontal mambo, taking care of their sexual activities in your house.
Hey, the door will be closed. I don't know what they'll be doing because I'm not trying to snoop to find out.
Oh, you can hear it.
I'm an adult. I know what can happen. So why would I put myself in that position to be like that, though? They're married, Raheem. And I do understand the way you feel. I mean, everybody's entitled, to how they're going to live their lives morally. But yeah, if you're married, no, I don't have a problem with that.
Wow. Toy, you with a T. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Hello. How you doing?
Hey, doing good. Good to hear you, sister. We miss you. What do you say about this situation? What happens?
I'm with you, Raheem.
Got no money.
Listen,
got no money.
I don't have no kids. I got nieces and nephews, and they know they're not for me. I don't care if they is married. I don't want to hear you having sex.
Yes.
I don't want to hear you masturbate. We out of order. My parents, even if I sneak them in the window, they'll never know I'm in there doing it. It can be my kids. It can be, shh, be quiet. We don't want the kids here. Shh, we don't want mom and daddy here. Now, if you're an adult and you go in somebody else's house, I don't care if you is married, you could be single, and they overhear you masturbating and having sex, you are out of order. It's the spirit behind sex. And my father told me this a long time ago. I didn't get it, but I get it now. It's the spirit behind that, and you're teaching and cultivating it's okay, especially if kids aren't around. And if it is your parents, yet again, your parents don't want to hear you have sex. I don't want to hear my nieces and nephews have sex. Get up out of here. Boom, 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 boom. Hey. get up and get your stuff. Y'all got to go home and get your hotel. Because I know y'all not that grown. We still finna keep things in order.
If you're that grown, you ain't got no money to get a hotel room. You ain't that grown as you think you are.
That's what I'm talking about. But listen, everybody have relationships differently, right? Because their parents feel differently. Their parents feel like everybody on the line. Oh, well, they're grown now. They just that and the third. Well, your expectations of what I have of them is different. You're okay with a lot of stuff. I'm on their butt about everything. I feel like they did not meet the expectation too. I don't want to hear that. You can't come bring a girl in front of me and say, Auntie, this is my girlfriend. And then bring me another girl up in my house. And you got one girlfriend? I'm finna be all on you, boy. How dare you? You will not disrespect another woman like that in my presence. And I'm not going to go along with it because it ain't right. And if you're going to do it and be grown, do it under your own roof because you're not going to do it here. I'm not going to condone it.
Exactly. Rosalind?
Amen.
Come on, Rosalind. Come on.
Oh, I'm just listening. I mean, like I said, I have, my daughter is 7, so I don't think I would be able to allow her to do that. I mean, probably by the time she get older anyway, she's not gonna be she's probably not gonna want to stay with me, because this generation has changed. So 9 times out of 10, she's probably gonna end up getting her own room. If she has the same attitude she has now, she'll probably end up getting her the same room, getting her a room anyway. But I mean, she's gonna have to be married. Because I try to lead as an example, and I don't allow men around my daughter anyway. So I try to lead by example and teach her what's right, regardless of how I feel. I just want her to do things as right. Whether she makes the decision to do it right, I want her to know I'm going to teach her right from wrong. So I just want to make sure she does it right. So we're going to do things the right way.
Exactly. Jay, talk to me, brother.
I agree. Now that, like I said, now that I know better, I do better. Now that I'm saved, I do better because again, before moms, I mean, me and my older brother, we had downstairs, it was decked out. We had a back door, so my mom would make us go to school, but we just go right around the corner and right to the back door and be in the house all day. We did stuff like that when I was younger. Now that I know better, I can't do those things because God is watching me. I tell even my wife, I will never cheat on you. Why? I love you and I fear God. And because I love my mother, now that I'm older and I know better, I mean, she's not here, but even my grandmother, anyone, now that I know better and I love and I fear God, I love them enough to respect them, not to do anything that will, cause them to look at me different.
Exactly. Now, anybody else have anything they want to say before we move on to we get to our topic right now? Anybody have anything? Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah.
I was just going.
Come to you next, brother.
What is this other than your feelings being hurt and it being awkward for you? There's no. You said a married couple. I get that. I'm not knocking. Everyone has the right to feel how they want to, but that's where the buck stops. Because there's a married couple, sanctified unto God, blase, blase, blase. Like from my perspective and how I put this, like let's say you doing the hoochie coochie in the hotel, and I hear it. Have you just disrespected me, or am I just in my feelings?
In a hotel room, no, my thing is this right here.
It's not talking. I'm not going about parents or not. It's the word respect and disrespect is what we're emphasizing on. Did you or did you not just disrespect me, or am I in my feelings?
Mutual line, Ray, so we don't have the background noise coming. We got a background. There you go. My thing is in a hotel room, I would say no, because first and foremost, you took upon yourself to go and get that hotel room, and that's your domain at that time. You do what you want to do. I can't go. It's like if I say I come to your house. If I come to your house, even though I'm your parent, I come to your house and you decide that you and your wife want to go in the back room while I'm there and do the horizontal mambo and do your business. I'm gonna very nicely get my behind up, walk out there, make sure your front door is locked, close the door and go on about my business. That's your house. But On the other side, if it's my house, then you're not gonna come in my house and do those things in my house. Now, if you go get a hotel room, do what you want to do in that hotel room. No, you're not disrespecting me. You did what you want to do. I ain't got no business even coming over there unless I call you and let you know that, hey man, look, hey, I'm on my way over, blah, blah, blah. I'll be over there in about 15 or 20 minutes. Outside of that, if you got a hotel room, I'm not even gonna come over there unless I call first. So I'm not gonna put myself in a situation that eliminates me from being in a situation, whereas I have to even deal with that. I don't have to deal with that because now I've called you. I will be there in 15 minutes. Govern yourself accordingly.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm another occupant in the hotel, and I hear you. Am I disrespected or am I hurt feelings? And if you have like we said earlier, if you have pre-established rules and an understanding, that's completely different. Now I am being disrespectful. If Sharon said none of that, and I did it anyways, I'm disrespecting my mother.
But see, what's happening? Mutual line, Ray.
Hold on, let me finish this. If she doesn't establish those rules, and then later on says that I disrespected her, it's you can't. That's not how that works.
Mutual line. My thing is this right here. See, you're doing the same thing that Badger was doing. You're taking us all over the place, and I'm talking specifically about in the home. All these other hotels and stuff like that, all that's different from what we're talking about. My thing is this right here, in my home, in my home, I'm in my parents' home, in my parent, Say it again.
I say, I just think people, this LA, I just think people just don't want to hear it. When you're in the room and the door is shut, you don't know if they're watching TV or if they're bumping and grinding. That's just the bottom line. And if you're at somebody's house and you feel like they'll feel some type of way if they hear it, maybe because they don't have a man, sometimes in situations like, oh, they're doing this, I don't got a man, or some people can't perform because other people are around. Like I said, I just don't like when the dog is in the room. It's just, I think people just don't want people to hear it. I'm not loud in hotels either because I think people can hear me. I'm very quiet in hotels, so I don't know. I don't want people to hear me. I'm not a sexual noise maker anyway, so I probably could do it right next to you. Would never know because I don't make any noise really. So I don't know. I think it's just a noise thing, all that type of stuff. That I don't think people are doing that anyway.
Wow.
I don't think people like me. Yeah.
Yes.
This Toya, right? And he said something very valid. He said something to the extent of like, if you haven't already laid out the foundation that this is what it is, then you come to me at 22 because I'm disrespected, I'm gonna be confused. And I think that's where the problem lies, right? Like again, I don't have kids like my nieces and nephews. And my oldest one they're in their 30s and they ain't having kids. But they already know the respect level. First of all, as my niece and nephew, I don't even encourage sex if you're not married. I don't. You can't be coming to me at 17 with kids and stuff. And, auntie, I beg. How about that job? You understand what I'm saying? So the respect level, like he said, comes from Jump Street. They already know. You're not finna smile up in my face like you're doing something good. And if you know I'm next door in this hotel, forget the occupant. I'm your auntie, and we go out to a hotel. And I'm right next door, and you making all this noise. I'm finna check you. Yeah, what you doing? You didn't know I was next door. Yeah, auntie, I did. So why you doing all that knocking upside the door like you think you grown now? Again, I'm finna have an issue with you. Because trust and believe, I don't know what you broke down what respect is. And that's the problem with us. We so flossy with sex and think it's cute and think it's funny and think it's fun. We're not teaching people the difference between the lines of respect and what we do. And then now here we come at 20 after we laughed about it for 18 years because they're doing it disrespectfully in your household now, like they don't know no better. And you sitting up here looking crazy, like why they doing it? It's because we never broke down. Like we don't have respect for sex anymore. We're doing it anywhere, anyhow. Anybody can see. We don't care. We get paid for it. We're doing it sideways, upways. We don't care. So that's why people are doing things. And we have mixed signals because we don't understand the respect factor that it comes with sex. We're too loose with it.
Absolutely.
Everybody don't take sex though as like it's just a bad thing though. So I see how the young people are. They're moving different. Yeah, they're more open. Yeah, they're doing things early. I have an 11-year-old son. His DM is off the chain on his Instagram. They're like, some little girls are really freaky already. I'm like, this is kind of nasty. But, they developed. more soon. But people been having sex in their parents' house. All of us probably did it. So I don't look at it as if something that I haven't done. Do I want to hear it? No.
I don't want to hear it.
Turn your fan on, turn your radio on. Like he said, get on the floor. It's, you just have to have respect. You can't tell people what to do. Sex is a great thing. It's a beautiful thing when two people come together and do it the right way. And it is, like she said, it's a spiritual thing. You're really not supposed to even be letting people just put all this fluid in you and I think it's not going to linger and all their demons and demons and this is not going to stay in you. It's a whole big thing with that. But we're not going spiritual with it, but we just going respect. I think if you just keep it quiet, do your thing. Everybody know what they have to do. You know, people ain't really trying to have, a lot of kids ain't even having babies no more. So they getting smarter. They having sex, they're not popping a lot of kids out no more. I don't know. My cousins, they against having kids. Exactly. So I don't know. Have your fun, do it safely, respect who you need to respect. Because I go to swing clubs. I don't know what anybody does. I don't do anything because, like Raheem, I just can't do it. I just like to watch. So I don't think I can perform in front of people, but I do like to watch. But, you know, that's something else. But I think it's just people don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear their kids. They don't want to hear people doing it. But then when you have a man and you doing something, do anybody else? Everybody needs to do them, I think.
Okay. Let me do this. I'm going to get to the topic. We had a caller from the 313 area code. If you're available, we weren't able to get to you. So if you're available, give us a call back. We'd love to have your input as well. We're going to get to our topic for the day. And Cassandra, we're going to start off with Cassandra. You there?
Yes, I am.
We're going to start the topic off with you. In a relationship, and we're going to keep it, dealing with the relationships, and it's good how this thing is lining up. If in a relationship, if you have to look at your significant other and you have to ask the question, how did we get here? What is the status of that relationship? Is it a good thing or bad thing, or is it a terrible thing to even have to ask that question?
No. What, how do we get where? Did they get somewhere? Did they progress and they've accomplished some of the goals and stuff that they have? Or is it a mess? Which direction?
I'm talking about it from a mess standpoint, where it's like they're at each other. It's terrible. It's just not good. And you ask the question, how did we get here? Because they know how loving they used to be toward each other, how much they used to love and adore each other, and how they really cared for each other. And now they're having to ask the question, how did we get here? Cassandra, what is that saying? Is it even a good thing that they're asking that question?
Yes, because if something is wrong, how do you address an issue if you don't address the issue? You're going to have to talk about it to find out, okay, what is happening with that? Something has changed. Something has shifted. The only way to find that out is to have a conversation. Communication is everything in a relationship. I mean, I don't care what you got, what you don't have. Communication is everything. And women love communication. Most women, let's say 99.1% of women love for the man to talk to them, tell them what's up, how you feeling. That's why we're so emotional a lot of times. And that's just how it is. But yeah, communication is everything. You got to ask the question. What is happening? What happened to us?
So from what you're saying to me, it is a good thing that they're actually even asking that question.
Absolutely, because a lot of people just they start tipping out or they just leave when the marriage could be saved. I've met, dozens of couples that their marriage, there was nothing going on that was so serious that it couldn't be worked out if they just communicated with each other. But they didn't. They chose to just walk away.
Wow. Let me do this. You're listening to DKM Media Group and Associates. You're listening to DKM Media Group and Associates. What we're talking about right now is in a relationship. If you have to ask the question, how did we get here? And the situation is terrible, and you have to ask that question, how did we get here? Rico, is that a good or a bad thing to even have to ask that question?
I don't even want another part of this conversation. Y'all can go to somebody else. I get it on down the road. I'm stuck on the last one.
Okay, good deal. Toya with a T, talk to me. How did we get here?
I think that life kind of take you places. We take for granted. Corona showed me a lot, right? Because when you at work 8-10 hours a day, and you don't get to express that person, they cute for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But when you actually sit and pay time or have to, you know, put work into a relationship, and get that test, you got the tendency to sometimes get salty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get angry, get bitter. Mistakes, life, you doing more work than the other person. You know, we always go through these issues.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a trick of the devil. You know what I'm saying? When we get to a place like that, that's our mind. Because we used to love this person and now we don't love them more. Why?
Yeah.
Because of something that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't love them no more because they don't have enough money or they can't perform a certain way, we never really loved them in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So we just kind of wasted time. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that's what a lot of us do. We get with people, not because I want to love, honor, marry, and cherish them. Throw that out the window.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have sex with you in under 17 hours, make a baby, and then wonder why we can't get along after 20 years when we not retired because we working for 20 years.
That's good.
But now when we spend time with each other, I learned that I don't even really like you.
Mm-hmm.
When you wake up, you just get on my nerve because I don't really spend time with you.
Mm-hmm.
You cute 6 hours out of 24-hour day, but we spending 10 and 12 hours together. Mm-hmm. I ain't never really spent time like this with you now. So after 20 years, when we really get to know each other, we really find out we ain't like each other. We did it out of love. Out of love.
Wow. Willow, what do you say to that? How did we get here?
Raheem, that's a great question. It really is, because even the Bible tells us to examine ourselves to see where we are in Christ. So it should be the same thing in our marriage. You know, marriages are not perfect. You know, we build our marriage on a foundation, and hopefully, and I pray that it's God that they're building it on,
mm-hmm.
because there are all kinds of problems, Raheem, especially when you have children on the outside, on the inside. There's bills, there's sexual things that happen. I mean, there's so many things that I can say because I'm a marriage counselor. I've heard so many things. And yes, Rosalind was right. Sometimes people find out.
If you know your party's extension, you may dial it now.
Get married for the right
You may make
reason.
your selection from the following options at any time.
Okay, somebody making a phone
For
call.
power outages, hazardous conditions, street light,
Somebody
or other
making-
outdoor light problems.
Okay, somebody
press
got
1.
I don't know what that is. But anyway, Raheem, we encourage the couples to communicate, number one, because you can always find out the root cause of the problem. And you can't correct a problem if you don't know what it is. I tell people all the time, because you know how men especially, and I'm not just being biased, you know, because I'm a woman, I'm just saying they don't like to talk. So sometimes we have to force our mate, even women. What's wrong? Nothing. And you know something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I can't change anything if you don't allow me to talk about what's going on. So you have to disrupt whatever it is. So guess what? You're constantly nourishing the problem and you're not communicating. So
Mm-hmm.
that's my take on that, Raheem.
Good deal. Jay, talk to me, brother.
Yeah, I agree. The whole how do we get here? That could, you know, it could be both ways. Like, I'm so in love with my lady, my wife. I'm like, how did we get here? Like, I was hurt the whole time we were dating. Now we're married and I'm still hurt, still going through physical therapy and things like that. How do we get to the point where you love me even beyond my pain? Because sometimes with my brain injury and my pain, I sometimes can get rude. Yes, Joyful Jay can be rude.
Mm-hmm.
Can be very selfish when I'm in pain because all I can think about is the pain. However, I love her more now than ever before because she deals with it. And of course, she deals with it in a way where it doesn't make me feel like until after it's over that I that I hurt her in any way, anything like that. Not talking and slamming at her, but just in the way I talk because of my pain level. So I love her now more than I did when, I asked her to marry me. So that could be a how do we get here? At the same token, if you don't communicate, as the young lady was just saying before, if you're not communicating and things are starting to go sour and you spend more time with your friends after work instead of going home, you go to the bar, you go wherever you want to go, then you can say, how do we get here? Because you stop the communication. I believe wholehearted communication is key in anything, any relationship, whether it be with God, your neighbors, your boss, whoever, your wife especially.
Mm-hmm. Good. That's good. That's good. Ray, talk to me, brother. How did we get here?
That's a great statement because that's a that statement is innately introspective. So there shouldn't be a negative connotation on it in any way, shape, or form. But society has painted that picture to make it seem like there's a negative connotation. The simple fact that you start off, how did we? Not how did you? Not you did this, not you did that. It's a we thing. So the simple fact that that is built to be introspective, but it still has a negative connotation, baffles me, because that statement can only further. It's that the statement itself is only capable of furthering. The person behind it is the one that causes the detriment and makes it negative.
That's good. Good. That's good. Let's go to let's go to let me see where we're gonna go here. I got a few people. I'm trying to figure out which direction I want to go with this thing. Let's go with Tisha. Tisha, what do you say to that? How do we get here?
Shoot, I'm about like Rico right now. I'm still stuck on the first topic, but I mean that is a good question. And then you stayed in we, because everything, it comes from we learn from other people, we watch from other people. So I don't know. It comes from generation, it's growing up and stuff, and being taught and what we watch and who we chose to believe and things like that. So I don't know. Like
it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It is.
Ryan, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Who is the we you were talking about, and where are we? I mean, because like I said, when you asked me the question, I'm thinking to myself, what?
Well,
how do we get here? I mean, who is we, and what group are you talking about? And then where are we? Are we in a good place, in a bad place?
When you
are
ask
we in Japan more? What? I mean, it's like it's too open ended.
No. Let me clarify for you real quick. Let me clarify for you. And when I say we, do you remember that song? And this just came to mind when you said that. Deborah Cox, how did we get here? Nobody's supposed to be here, and stuff like that. Alone that they're in a terrible place in a relationship. They were so loving. They were so they really cared for each other, and they were their other's best part. They loved each other wholeheartedly. There was nothing wrong. Everything was perfect. And now it's in a place where they can't even stand each other, Rico. They can't even be around each other for 2 seconds. They argue, they fuss, and they're always at each other. And the question is, how did we get here? How do we go from being such two loving people that everybody wanted to mirror their relationship after because we had it so good to this? How did we get here? Rico?
Oh, I still can't answer that question. I mean, I'd have to put myself in that situation. I guess, somebody that that's in that situation with things that have deteriorated to that point. Maybe they were in it for the wrong reason. Maybe they ignored red flags and accepted some things because they wanted to maintain or hold on to something that really wasn't as valuable as their sanity or the health of that relationship. So I mean, maybe the money was too good for him to leave. So he ain't gonna hit me no more. He ain't gonna touch my little girl no more. How do we get here? Now she's suing him. Now the little girl has thought and turned out because she's been touched by the stepdaddy who had good money. I mean, it's just it's situations. That's how you got there. Situations, experiences, your level of standards and what you accept. And once you lower those standards or you cross those lines, you devalue yourself and then you put yourself in another situation. So it's how everybody got where they are. It's about situations and I'm gonna say, in situations and experiences, decisions that they made and conditions that they were under. A little girl might not be able to help becoming a thought if her stepdad or her dad and her brothers and cousins running through her from the age of 6 to 13.
Wow.
So I guess that's how how a person gets to wherever they are. It's through the level of whatever they would actually accept and what they could actually help. Because you can't help what you can't help.
Yeah, exactly.
But good. If you make the choice to accept the lower standard, then that's how you got there.
Rosalind?
I'm like, Rico, I was confused at first. Okay, so if I base it on past relationships, I think it would be because I was just like ignoring red flags, just really just wanted to be with somebody and not getting to know them mentally. That's because after my first marriage, like I went through a stage of just dating the wrong people and lowering standards and just dealing with things that I didn't have to deal with. So now that I learned from the past relationships, now it's kind of different. So when I date now, nobody's coming around my daughter until we're like actually I know we're serious. So it's different. It's definitely like communication wise, I gotta know you mentally, I gotta know your background. I mean, I gotta know everything. And I'm not saying that people don't have flaws or whatever, but I just have to know you. Because I want to go to a place that I haven't been in the past. Like, I mean, even like I won't say my boyfriend. I'm too old to have a boyfriend. I'm too old to be a girlfriend or a bae or whatever. I don't want those titles. The only title that I want is to be a wife. I don't like all that other stuff. But anyway, I would say like the guy that we talk now, like he's a good guy, but I haven't made it official that I want him to be around my daughter because I'm still learning him. Like, I'm very protective of my daughter. That's just me. A lot of people are not like that, but I am. I'm very protective because you got to remember I worked at a prison, so I know how men are. So I try to get to know them first. I don't let guys meet my daughter until I actually know it's serious. But you have to get to know people. Like I said yesterday, it's some weird people. I don't know. Dating back in 1998 is totally different from dating here in 2022. It's totally different. So
yeah, exactly. Badger, what do you say to that, man? How did we get here?
I'm gonna just look. When I saw the question, I was thinking about mine and my wife's relationship. Is how much we've been through and how we got to where we are now, from childhood to now. But if we're looking at it from a negative perspective, knowing or being aware of relationships of where people have gone through similar things, and they didn't make the choices we made. They held on to negative teachings and things like that. Like the one saying, don't cry, don't do this, don't do that. And, then you end up in counseling when you're older and the counselor's like, it's okay to cry. You need to communicate with your wife. So some people get taught that and some don't. And the communication and us uplifting each other is how we got to such a positive place, being brought up in a negative space. And the personal choices we both made to break cycles, to not repeat what was done to us and pass it on to our kids. So there's a lot of willpower, choice, ambition.
Hey.
Is that a bad word?
Go ahead.
Okay. That threw me off. And it's just, in my opinion, just looking at society as a whole, there's a lot of things that just aren't taught, and it's gotten less and less and less. Some things that are out there is, self-respect are starting to get slightly taught more. What they leave out a lot of other things. So this is a hard question, because this is asking people to do introspection, to communicate, to accept their emotions, to accept and take responsibility for their actions, which is a lot of things a lot of people don't do anymore.
Exactly. How did we get here? That's a heck of a question. Leonard, talk to me, brother. What do you say to that? How did we get here? How deep is that question? You're muted, Leonard. You're muted,
it really depends on the situation. I don't know how people get to where they get to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know why they go there in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all of I'm trying to grasp really the question as it relates to where it's assuming there's something negative, because me and my wife got here from loving one another and being committed and trying to do the best that we can. That's how we got here. That's how we got here. So I don't know what you all were doing. Were you doing the opposite?
Well, see, my thing is this right here, and what you're talking about is a beautiful thing, but I'm talking about from a standpoint of people that was in a very loving, committed relationship, cared for each other, loved each other dearly, and now they're to the point where they can't even be in the same room, it seems like, for just a couple of minutes, because they so at each other's throat. They're so at it right now. They're so and they're questioning. They look at each other. They say, "Well, how did we get here? How did we get from being such loving people that we were the couple that everybody wanted to mirror their relationship after? How do we go from that? How did we get here? Now people don't even want to be around us because we at each other's throat.
Well, I mean, I think everybody they know how they got there.
A lot of times,
yes, they do.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think how you just look. You claim, first of all, you claim to be so in love.
Mm-hmm.
That probably was. I don't know how true that was.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't. I mean, but there is something there, I think, that caused you to get there, and you know what it is. You may not want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
You may be embarrassed by it, but you know how you got. If I'm pretty sure if Jay starts to mess with his wife, he know why she mad.
Mm-hmm.
He know why she mad. He know what he did.
Mm-hmm.
People sit around and play games. I don't know. First of all, it sounded like y'all was talking like in terms of a TV program.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you doing. You forgot me. I'm Mr. No Excuses. I'm not fooling around you, and you don't know what you doing. You know exactly what you doing.
Leonard, I'm gonna say it like this right here, and I'm
gonna just woke up and hated the person you loved yesterday.
Hold on, Leonard, hold on. My thing is this right here. I think there are some situations, there are some instances where people just don't know how they got to that place. You know, in a realistic world, the way we want to look at this thing, you know, is one way, but the reality of the situation is some people get to places they don't know how they got there. Maybe
they don't want to accept where they are.
No. Maybe they don't. Maybe that could be very well be true that they don't want to accept it. But the reality of the situation is they are there. Whether they want to accept it or not is not going to change the fact they're there. And so my thing is this right here. Life happens sometime, and sometimes life just pass you by.
Okay, if that's all it is, then there's nothing you can do about it.
What that maybe it is, because you have to go back and sometimes you have to go back and reevaluate. Sometimes old fella told me sometime in order to get that woman back, you got to do what you did to get her.
What if you don't want her back?
You got to go back. See, Leonard, now you throwing all kind of other stuff in this thing, man. Come on, man.
I mean, y'all don't got it.
They ain't got nothing to do with what we're talking about.
I ain't just walk up and hit Roslyn in the face.
I want to say something too.
Okay, well, I'm gonna come to all y'all, but let me finish it right here. And my thing is right here. Sometimes life has a way of passing you by. Sometimes life has a way of doing different things and taking you places that you don't even know how you got there. You don't know the road that it took for you to get there. And so for us to say that it's just that cut and dry, that you know how you know what you did, maybe you didn't.
I'm gonna be over here listening because I know exactly where I am and how I got here.
Okay, that's good. That may work very well for you, but not everybody. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
See, the thing is, this would be a hard conversation to address because it would have to be based on an individual relationship, a specific relationship. Because there are so many reasons. We'll be here till next year talking about, oh, you didn't like to communicate, or you didn't like to cooperate, or you like to cheat, or you didn't like to clean up. Oh, I thought I was in love, or we was young and we were just having wild sex. It's so many different things based on whoever relationship, where they are, if you're addressing that issue. Like I said, just in general, some people can say, well, hey, we are where we are because both of us went to college and we focused and we respected each other and we waited to have sex, and now we have the proper order of having a good family, a traditional family. So, I mean, with that question, really you put us in a situation where we could go all around the world talking about why people made it or why they didn't make it, but it could still come all the way back down to the ones that didn't make it, maybe got together for the wrong reasons, which I said that earlier. Maybe you had the wrong ambitions. Maybe you were looking at the financial opportunities, the material and superficial benefits, just for the fact that they had a name You know, I mean, so many different reasons, and then you get to know somebody, and you find out the real of them. Then you say, well, okay, I'm gonna settle because I still want to stay with this famous person or this athlete, even though he got 9 or 10 different other women and he screwing and got other children. I'm gonna put up with it. Whatever the situation is too wide of a range for us to just sit back and start going, this is this, this is this, this is it, because it's different reasons.
Yeah, and I could definitely agree with that. There are different reasons, but at the same time, I'm saying, how did we get? And sometimes it's work. Sometimes people work so much and they so engulfed in their work that they don't have the time. Not that they don't love the other person, they love them, but they just don't have the time to put in the time to make that person feel loved, appreciated, respected, and appreciated. Minister Neil. Ricky.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody?
Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good, man. How's everybody?
Hey, doing good, doing good.
A very healthy conversation this morning.
Yes, sir.
Very healthy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's going to help some people.
I
like to hear that.
And I want to know how did we get here? And for a couple to ask that question, and like I said, he could have shifted from being very loving to where they are now, not so much. And the question, the question, man, I think it's a powerful question. How did we get here? Ricky, what do you say to that?
I mean, a lot of times you got to understand something too. Sometimes life happens. We can grow up, excuse me, we can grow apart from one another. And we don't, and we're not even knowing it. And I'm saying it to, I was listening to some of the comments and I was reflecting back when my ex-wife walked in after my son passed. And how devastating it was between she and I. We was a loving couple as well. And she walked in and said, every time she see me, she see my son. And she said she really just couldn't do this anymore. And but I loved her enough to let her go and to heal. And that's why I say sometimes life happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm saying it because you know, when I had my prostate surgery a couple of years ago, she was, even though we were divorced, she was still by my side. She continued to check on me and things of that nature. And sometimes, again, like I said, life happens. And we don't really know. Something that Rico said that he said that some things can be monetary or some things can be personal status. What I want to say. You have a lot of preachers out here who are marrying, who have gotten married, and I hate to say it, I got a buddy right now. He's going through a divorce right now to find out that his wife wanted to marry him because he was a big time preacher. But once she left that church, she left him. I'm talking about right now.
Wow.
I'm talking about, we just spoke last night. Just last night. So what Rico was saying, that does exist, but is this in every relationship? No. But I always tell a man, even when I'm counseling, I say, you always got to remember, you have to treat that woman like the Holy Spirit. That's why we have to go back to the foundation why we are together. And I think that's where we have missed the mark sometimes, because we also use marriage and relationships as bucket lists.
Wow.
Let me say this again now. I'm going to say it to you again. Sometimes we use it as a bucket list. I'm going to say it one more time for the Holy Spirit. We use it as a bucket list.
Yes, sir.
Meaning that we have a lot of people out here that look at the calendar and say, I haven't been married. Why can't I get married? So that's a lot of times why a lot of these relationships are not withholding the storm, or they're not ready to obtain a lot of the different fundamental foundations of marriage because of these issues that they had. It was hit.
Exactly.
That's why I said what Rico said was right on point.
Good deal.
Because there's a lot of hidden agendas out there. So again, we have to be very careful. And like the young lady said, that she has to almost go through. With me, I even to a point. When women come to me a lot of times, I almost want to get a psyche valve.
Mm-hmm.
And
wow.
There's a lot of women out here that they're battered and bruised by the world. And don't get me wrong, I salute my sisters for being strong as they are, and I love them.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't bathe me in dirty water.
Exactly. Let me do this. Let me go to Willow. Willow, what's on? Hold on. Somebody wanted to say, yeah. Go ahead.
Raheem, this is Willa.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to say, I mean, like the young gentleman said, Rico was like right on track about you could pick any individual situation. But here's the deal. In that situation, no matter whether you're famous, not famous, or whatever, that person, whether it was the man or the woman, knew that there was a problem. And I'm sure Cassandra could attest to this, because as counselors, we always say what? Talk about it. But here's the thing, this is what we do as humans. We'll say, I'm not going to say nothing right now. I don't want to stir the pot. You know what? I may cause problems that ain't there. So I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Or the man might say, you know what? Things might change. Let's try to do something this way. They try to handle the situation on their own instead of talking with each other. Mm-hmm. See, that's the key. I don't care what situation it is. That's how you get there. Mm-hmm. Because you try to figure it out by yourself when it's two of you. Mm-hmm. You're one, you become one. You're not two, you're one in a marriage. Mm-hmm. And it is a partnership.
Yes, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
No matter what it is, communication piece is the number one thing to not get you there.
Wow, that's good. Cassandra? Oh, I'm sorry, Ray, coming to you next, brother.
Yeah, can we remember one thing? This is a radio show where you're giving scenarios, and people are giving their opinions and perspectives. Mm-hmm. If you have something personal that you can add in that mix, it's fine. But this is strictly your opinion, your perspective, or your personal experience. And all of our experiences and stuff are different. So everybody on this line may look at one situation and we all see it in a different way. And that is what makes us individuals. Mm-hmm. So we should not get upset with each other or anything else if you don't understand or you're not sure about the perspective or opinion or experience of someone else. Mm-hmm. That's their perspective, their opinion, or their experience. I just wanted to say that.
Exactly. Good deal. Ray, you wanted to say something, brother?
Yeah, I just wanted to emphasize and bring back a little bit of positivity towards it, because like I said, that statement in itself is very key and very important. How did we get here? Because it's just innately introspective. I think painting it and using it in a negative connotation allows for you to be absolved in some type of way of what your responsibilities or what you were supposed to do in that particular situation is. For example, when you ask a question, and this is on the terms of communication, that question should further more questions that feed into more answers to more questions, so you can build off of that. For an example, for me, when my wife asked me that question, it took me by surprise, because she then said, "What can I do to make it better?" Mm-hmm. And then that triggered me, and I was like, "Well, dang, what can I do to make it better?" Mm-hmm. And then that went back to we. So I get that it's that how it comes off, but I want to implore everyone to look at it from a positive side. It's an introspective term that allows one to think. And if you hear it in the negative connotation, just try to lean or push that person towards the progressive mindset of it. Because if it's based off of negativity, then it's just going to be void. It's going to allow you to void and mute everything else that comes into terms. Mm-hmm. So
that's good.
That's all. I just wanted to paint a different picture of the phrase.
LA, I think you wanted to say something.
Hey, I had to unmute myself. Yeah, I've been waiting to speak on this because I'm a matchmaker, and I'm just going to keep it real. We got to this place because the people that we saw stand together, they dying. Love is not pushed anymore. Compassion isn't pushed. people are not telling their own children, you need to save yourself, you need to be a lady. Maybe they are, but they're not pushing it. You know, the internet has gotten us to this place. From what I'm saying, because I believe in love, I believe in marriage, and myself, I don't walk away from any of my marriages in a bad dispute. We all still talk. They all want to remarry me. So and again, that's not being pushed either. You don't have to break up with someone and be in a bad place. And then from what I'm saying, to keep it real, women, and the tongue has gotten us there. Women used to always say, "Oh, I don't need no man. I don't want no man." That has put so many people have cursed themselves. So what you speak is what you get. And then a lot of men, they want to be tricked. That's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, even if they're married or single, they're not trying to be in a. They'll say they want something casual. They're not looking for something long term. Like, we have to get back to love. We have to start putting out better images for our kids, because they're not seeing marriage. They're not pushing it on the. They're not pushing it on the internet. None of this is being pushed. So if everybody's pushing fighting and tricking, then that's where we are. So if you want to be the person of love, you have to stand on your views. And like one of the ladies said, I don't want to be your girlfriend. I want to be a wife. You can't come to me and make me a girlfriend. I don't accept $40. I don't accept $500. I don't trick with men. So you have to have your own standards. The internet has gotten us here. Self-love. The one guy said, we are having an awakening. People are getting back to self-love. You have to get back to self-love first in order to be with somebody else. And the internet has gotten us here. Just the mindset, the visions, the images that are put out, that's what has gotten us here as a whole. I don't want to just individually talk about what has gotten me here, but as a whole, that's what has gotten us here. And I wish this for everyone. I want everyone to have love. And when people say, "Oh, I don't want no woman and I don't want a man," I actually like, "Man, this person is that, you know, miserable against love." You know, so I don't know. I think people just need to get back to love and being as a unit. The cost of living is so expensive. You should want to love someone to take care of all these crazy things in the world. You have to do that as a unit, to not be so separate. So get back to love. Getting back to love, leave the internet alone and stop tricking and stop prostituting. Then we can have a better society. Love is it.
Love is it. Love is it. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
Communication and openness. Like, it's just one of those things of there's to me, there's so much depth in this question, because it's what you choose. Why are you dating the person to begin with? Why are you choosing to marry the person? It's I mean, there are a lot of people. I mean, there's some young people, and I've asked them, I'm like, so how do you know when you're going to marry somebody? And they'll either go, they're good in bed, they have money, and different things like that. And I'm going, how about love? What happens if you fall in love with a poor man or a poor woman? And they're like, I don't know. And I went, oh, we in trouble now. So there's a lot of values that a lot of us got taught, but it doesn't seem like it carried on to the next generation in some ways. Well, on the same flip side, you know, the younger generation looks to the older generation thinking they're crazy because they're holding on to things that in their opinion they shouldn't be holding on to. They should be, you know, learning from the past, applying it now to promote a better future for tomorrow. So I think a lot of the younger people are in a confused state of mind because they don't know when to believe the elder and when not to. Because there's a lot of confusing messages out there in the world right now. Everything from media to social networking, you know, you can get paid almost as much for sitting at a computer streaming a video game or getting in a hot tub almost as much as you can playing football. If you take off. So it's a technology world.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different concepts and ideologies and things that are going on that a lot of things are going over folks' heads, and other things are they don't know which way to go.
That's true. That's true. We got a few more minutes left in here before we gotta get out of here, man. Let me go to I ain't spoke to Jay in a minute. Jay, let me come to you, and then Toya with a T coming to you next.
The Bible says in Proverbs 18:21 that death and life is in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Again, communication. Communication is always key. If you're always talking negative to your spouse, husband, wife, whatever, they're going to have a negative response. Whatever you throw out there, you're going to get back. You should reap what you sow. So if you're always talking negative and always talking, mean or whatever, you're going to get that in response. But if you're always talking lovely, like I always, anywhere we go, everyone says, we know you're going to say my queen, because I always call my wife my queen because I feel like I'm a king again. So I'm going to treat her as such. And if I'm always lifting her up, and things like that, and we're always talking, there should be no how did we get here? Because we know, as my friend Leonard was saying, we know how we got here because we're very transparent with one another. I tell her, even if it hurts me, tell me the truth at all costs. I'll have to accept it or not, but tell me the truth. Same with her. No matter what the problem is, no matter what the situation, she's going to know my heart, and most of the time she knows what I'm thinking before I even say it.
That's good.
Communication.
Absolutely. Toya with a T, talk to me, sis. Toya, you there? I think Toya may have stepped away for a second. Hold on. K with an E, how you done sneak in on me? K with an E, good morning. How you doing this morning?
I'm blessed. I didn't sneak in. I've been listening.
How you gonna sneak in on me? I didn't even know you were there. Sis, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm blessed.
Good deal. Talk to me. You've been listening. I don't know how long you've been there, but I guess you've been listening for a minute. You say you've been listening, but what's on your heart about this, man? How did we get here? If that question have to be involved in your relationship, is the relationship in trouble?
You said it. What do what?
If you got to ask the question, how did we get here? If you got to ask that question, is the relationship in trouble?
Because it's got some problems. You ask, how do we get here? It definitely got some problems. And the right question is, how do we get here? So this goes in with the course I took, and I graduated. How to resolve a conflict. So it's two people. They got to figure out what's going on. And if you ain't equally yoked, that's why we went to 3 pastors, me and my husband, and all 3 pastors came up with the same scenery. We are not equally yoked. You two are not equally yoked. You're not going to make it. You're not equally yoked. And they told us that. That's why they were able to come up with that, because they went spiritually with it. We was not equally yoked.
Wow.
And that's important. That's very important. And that's where it come in at. That bucket list will get you in trouble, because that bucket list don't say nothing about equally yoked.
That's good. Toussaint. And everybody put your seatbelt on. Ain't no telling what we're about to get, but I'm ready to go to my brother Toussaint. Toussaint, how did we get here? You got to ask that question, man. Is the relationship in trouble? What's really going on?
Well, depends on where you are. Y'all always think I'm gonna say something crazy,
and most of the time you do.
But yeah, I will. Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get that straight.
Let's establish that point. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, but no. Matter of fact, it don't have to be bad. Because let me just throw this out here. If you have a relationship and God is in it, most of the time you'll be amazed at how you got here. How did we get here? Because we didn't plan for it to be this way, in this, and it's a good way. Because it seems like if learning by mistakes and trying to get it right, when you walk together and agree, most of the time, how you get there and where you're heading is up. It get better and it get better and better because you don't have the arguments. You're not pulling in different directions. It's not a me, my, and I. It's us and we. It's actually you get a help meet.
Come on.
And then you work together in trying to obtain and the physical and the spiritual, and you be looking and you say the only way that we got here is him. He got us here.
Come on.
And we look, and every time you turn around, something else is happening, and it's a good thing. You say, "Oh my gracious, how did we get here?" Because in reality, I didn't ask for you. Maybe I did, but I didn't see you coming.
Come on.
You hear what I'm saying? Not to this magnitude, because I didn't search for what I wanted, not what he wanted for me. But when I waited till he gave me what he wanted for me, then he already fixed everything.
Wow.
I just got to get there. And when I get there, every time I get there is another level. And you're going to keep asking yourself, because here's the thing, and we say it all the time, we don't even get it. We say now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we could ask or think. So what are you asking and what are you thinking?
Come on.
And when you get it, is above everything that you could ever imagine. I'm just saying. See, that wasn't that bad.
No, as a matter of fact, that was good. That was all right. Well, you shocked. I'm both shocked and appalled. Rico, talk to me, brother.
Now introducing to you your 44th president of the United States, Barack Hussein Obama.
Come on.
And as he walks out on that stage, he might have looked over at Michelle and said, "Baby, how in the hell did we get here?" Oh my God. Look where we are now.
Yeah.
I am the president of the most powerful country on this small rock called Earth. How in the world did I get it? The first black. Well, I can tell you how we got there. I'm gonna write a book about it. Y'all gonna buy it? We cooperated, we communicated, we had drive, we had ambition, we had goals, we stayed focused, we sacrificed, and we didn't make a lot of decisions to do the things that would have pleased us or would have made us feel good that many people we grew up with chose, decided to do. You know what this really boils down to is people that have respect and really ambition, they have a level of standards and values that they won't go beneath. And if you don't go beneath those standards of values, you might end up being president. If you go beneath them, you might be married 3 or 4 times, going through the same thing over and over. Or you might just be in a situation where you're saying, well, you know what? How do we get here? I don't know, but I think we need to split up and just leave each other alone. Because we done made a lot of bad decisions and we didn't sacrifice. Matter of fact, we didn't even get together for the right reason. I got with you because you're the only person that when I try to be quiet during sex, I can't. See, it goes back to that first topic too. A level of respect. You know, sex is natural. But the thing is when you start lowering your standards and your values, you get comfortable. But everybody ain't comfortable with those, is not comfortable with those same lower level of standards and values. So the next person might say, well, hey, you know what? Those 2 dogs over on the side of the road having sex. Look at them, he kill me. Then somebody else might say, hey, turn your head. Don't let the children see that. But it's natural. See, even when we were talking about that first subject, the first topic, the parents may have been uncomfortable. But at the same time, it would have been unreasonable to think that they can tell 2 married people that y'all got to turn this switch off while y'all in my house. So, you know, if you get comfortable enough, it depends on the parents. If you are comfortable enough to let that happen, then it may happen. But if you are uncomfortable, you won't allow that to happen. And that's what it really boils down to, because everybody knows that between a man and a woman, you can't tell them not to have sex if that's what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's completely unreasonable.
Yeah.
Whether it's in your house or not, you know. And so Ray brought that up about the hotel room. And you ended it. I mean, really and truly, that first topic really shouldn't have went as long as it did. But people, you know, I guess in the process of being intelligent, you know, we have to put all kind of different spins on stuff, and it actually got confusing. That hotel room, man, you paid for that.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go to your mama and dad's house, you didn't pay for that room. You still in their home.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Everybody else in that hotel room paid for their rooms too. So it's not a matter. You really have to respect the people in the next room, but to a certain extent, that doesn't mean that you intentionally stomp on the floor while you got neighbors that live beneath you because you pay rent just like they pay rent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got them type of people. I pay rent just like they pay rent. Mm-hmm. And they don't care who live below them. And they'll stomp and run and shoot. I mean, they'll dance, jump up and down on purpose. You like, wait a minute. Now, this ain't normal.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing this intentionally.
Yeah, it's too much.
So that's your property. You pay for that, you know. But it really is all about respect and having a level of standards and values and your comfort level. Going back to that first topic, it's all about your comfort level. That parent wouldn't be cool with that if they were comfortable. If they were cool with it, then evidently they were comfortable hearing their son take his wife down through there. But it really was revealing to me, because somewhere you might have to think about it, and this might be a little joke. But if you're in your mom and dad's house and you doing something and they don't hear nothing, man, you might need to rethink how you working.
Lord Jesus.
You don't gotta rethink. Let me tell you, you don't rethink how you working. That's called respect. They don't need to hear everything that's going on. That's called respect. But the most respect is you don't do it in their home, especially with them at home. And my mama never played that. My brother and his wife came here. First of all, they had to be married to sleep together. Because if you ain't married, she slept in the living room on the couch. And my mama made him sleep in the room with his daddy. You ain't gonna sneak out the room with my daddy and go nowhere. And you ain't gonna come in there and do. My mama didn't play that. So you don't bring a woman in her house that you ain't married to, that you want to sleep with. And she told them if they was going to have sex, they can go get them a room. And they respected that. My mama has never had that problem. Never.
Exactly.
And my brother that did it, if he wouldn't have never told us, we wouldn't have never knew. Because it was between him, that girl, and God.
Yeah.
We never heard it. So they doing it right, Rico. They supposed to not make noise. Noise is when you alone and by yourself. And when I went to the hotel room, I got my room free. I got my room free at the hotel because I had the grandkids with me.
That's true what you saying. That is true what you saying. But sometimes a woman can't help it.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna leave it at that. Sometimes a woman can't help it.
Leave it alone.
No. How much you try to be quiet?
Hold on.
No
we take a turn. Hold on, Rico. We take. Whoa. PG, brother. PG.
Yes, leave that alone, sir.
PG. I just put on the screen. Look at Tucson. No, they can't be nobody but Tucson. They can't be nobody but. I ain't gotta look and see who that was. They can't be nobody but Tucson. I promise you that's who it was. I promise you.
My God.
I bet $100 to a half a donut it was Tucson that did that just now. But listen, I just put the link on. I know some of y'all was asking about the link for the t-shirt. I just put it on the screen here. So if anybody want to go and get the t-shirt from me, spiritual t-shirt that I made, Spiritual Truth is what it's called. It's actually on the screen. So I don't know if you could click on it or what, but I just wanted to put it up there. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
I'm listening, and I would think that and hope that going forward, people who are listening understand there's a benefit of thinking ahead.
Yeah.
And having rules and setting rules for yourself.
No pun intended.
The Black community gonna be sitting around talking about the same thing for probably another 20 years. Because you refuse to set standards and have moral values and ethics. And this whole notion, well, what happened? You're not religious people. You don't have a standard of living, really. You do what you want to do whenever you want to do it. And you expect other people to pat you on the back for it.
Say that.
That's the issue.
Exactly.
You know, you don't put a bunch of people together and just expect them to act a certain way because that's the way you want them to. You know, somebody has to say, here are some rules. What you gonna do with your life? Like even with a child. Well, this ain't for me. Well, what is for you? You know, you had that conversation. You have a conversation with enough teenagers or whatever. It sounds a lot alike a lot of times. And you know the kids that are going to struggle more than other kids. Because this notion that you don't have to have a plan, that you don't have to have a direction or a course plotted or what have you, usually that's how you find yourself in places that you never thought you would be because you never had a plan in the first place. You never had direction in the first place. Many people have no discipline. So this is why they wind up in issues. Discipline comes before behavior.
Amen.
So if you want a certain thing out of life, you should behave that way.
Yes.
If you want to be respected for what you know, maybe you should go get an education. Like I tell preachers all the time, you know what, y'all really ain't preaching about nothing. Until you find out who you affecting.
Yes.
So you can be up there hollering your life away and blah, 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 blah. And if ain't nobody's heart changing, nobody's heart changing,
so
nobody's considering what you're doing as being the right way.
So they could be up there hooping. They could hoop all they want to hoop.
Right. And that's how people are. You don't choose no way. You don't stand for nothing. But all of a sudden, now you don't jump up with all these morals and values and you expect things to be a certain way. And no, that's not how life works. You have to cultivate things. I mean, like I said, if you just throw the seed out there, whatever catch, if it catch, it catch. If not, some gonna die. Some gonna catch on good dirt. Some gonna catch on bad dirt. But as the sower of the seed, you should be directing that. Your life. You should be directing your lives. If you don't want to be a single mother, guess what you probably can't be doing? Running around here sleeping, smashing raw.
Come on and say it.
Ain't no other answer. I don't know how I got pregnant. You're stupid. You know exactly how you got pregnant. You know when you got pregnant, and you know who it was. Matter of fact,
what Leonard mute button that? Hold on, what Leonard mute button that? Lord,
you know, it just frustrates.
They might not know. You see some of them more that about the ninth one that they're 100% sure they don't know. Some of them don't.
It frustrates me that people do everything they big and bad enough to do, and soon it don't work out. Now you got excuses.
Okay, stay right there, Leonard. I ain't no telling where you about to go. You stay right there. Now, you stay right there. That's the Rosalind. What's on your heart? I see you over there, sis.
I was just thinking about what LA said, and man, she hit it on the head. I think today's time like a lot of people are living the Instagram lifestyle, so it's like the attention seeking. And I mean, just to be honest, I don't feel like Rosa Parks did what she did. And now we in today's time where women are out on like showing the world just twerking. I don't think Dr. Martin Luther King did what he did, knowing that in today's time you have young men sagging and rapping about how many hoes they got and flogging money everywhere. I mean, if I was given the opportunity to rap, it surely wouldn't be about some foolishness. It would have to be about something positive. That's just my take on things. So I agree with LA. It's like attention. It's like a Instagram lifestyle. That's all I can call it. But we have to do something about it. We are the change. Like, we're on this platform. I'm pretty sure everybody can do something in their community. Like Leonard said, what are we going to do about it? And that's the way I look at it. If I could be a good influence on somebody, that's what I'm going to do. I don't know everything, but I would try to be a positive influence on somebody.
I know a lot of people, and Rosa Parks, no disrespect on what she did, great thing that she did, and I definitely appreciate her. But a lot of people don't know or have never heard of the name of Claudette Colvin. Claudette Colvin. I want people, if you get an opportunity, look her up as well. Claudette Colvin. Colvin is Colvin. Y'all look her up as well. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Cassandra? Wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to sleep. Willa?
Hey, Raheem.
What's going on? What's on your heart, sis?
What's going on?
What's on your heart right now?
No, you know, Raheem, I was listening to the conversation, and Leonard brought up great points, but Rico brought up a lot of great points. I mean, everybody's bringing up great points, and I believe that get on your show is an opportunity that someone who's going through or who's having problems in their relationships or whatever it is that's going on in their lives, that they get some kind of solution or a thought that say, you know what, maybe I need to change something. So I am so grateful being on your show.
Praise
and
God.
having that opportunity to try to help someone else, because that's my life now. Like I said, I live by the word. And if I can help anyone, whether it be 1, 2, or 3, that's my goal in life now. My husband always tell me, I can't save the world, but I'm going to try to do as much as I can.
Absolutely.
And that's what's on my heart right here. That's what's on my heart.
Good deal, and appreciate you as well. And to God be the glory. It's time for us to get out of here, man. Y'all don't mess around and get what y'all done got. I mean, what is it? Y'all done got an extra 5 minutes out of me today. Boy, I'm clocking all this time now. I'm clocking all this time. I'm gonna take a day off. Because I Rico, stop it. I know it. Rico, stop it, man. Oh, he about to say I've been late 10 or 12 times already, so I owe the bank nothing, man.
I ain't gotta repeat myself.
I knew what you were thinking over there. But listen, anybody got anything before we get out of here, man? We're about to get out of here. It's been a great broadcast. I definitely appreciate each and every one of you, man. And hopefully we help some people along the course. Hopefully we'll help some people with the first conversation. And we probably could have, Rico said we could have cut it off earlier, but I think we could have actually extended it for the whole broadcast because there are so many different layers that was there. Then we went to the second part, which was the topic of the day. How did we get here? I mean, that was amazing to me, man, just to hear everybody's perspective. I think it's a good thing, and that's one of the things that we do here, man. We you have the freedom to say what's on your heart, man. Say what's on your heart, and say it from where you're coming from. Everybody's perspective is going to be different. Everybody's experience is not the same, so the way you view things, the way you deal with things, is going to be totally different. We shine light on all of those, and hopefully somebody that's listening, somebody is speaking to everybody. There's somebody, I guarantee you, there's somebody on this platform that we're on right now that's speaking to somebody. May not be the same people, might not be the same person, but we all speaking to somebody. And that's why I think it's so powerful. Anybody have anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, I want to go back and say, I like what LA said too. You know, she took it to another level.
Yes.
And it sort of goes back to what Leonard said about not having standards from the beginning. You know, now you can't lower your standards. You can't change and get distracted. You know, it's a such thing as called temptation.
Yes.
And the devil throws temptation out there all the time to get people to go and get distracted and indulge in things that they shouldn't, that is unhealthy. Things that feel good. Me and Don talked about this yesterday. Most things feel good, but in the end, they are detrimental to you.
Yeah.
But that's how you get tricked, because they feel so good, you keep doing it. So now here it is, you lower your standards and you get comfortable and you say, well, you know what? It feels good doing this. It ain't so bad. But at the same time, you're still doing something against your morals and how you were brought up. And so it's easy to get caught up like that. But we also have to realize the outside unconscious influence, like money and fame, that goes back to the standards and values again. So she brought that up about the music, and Rosalind said that about if she was a rapper, how her message would be. But see, this is what we have to realize. There are people in place that know that we don't look up to Thurgood Marshall or Rosa Parks anymore, Martin Luther King Jr. We look up to Lil Baby and LeBron James and the Baby and Cardi B. But see, the thing is Cardi B and Lil Baby will not have an opportunity to be who they are unless they're talking about that crap.
Yes. Exactly.
So you have an unconscious influence that makes and glorifies these people with these messages and say, well, hey, look what they said and look what they got. They got everything that a man could want, all the money in the world. Look at people just cheering for them and falling out everywhere. I want Lil Baby. But listen at the message. So now you need to do the same thing, because if you ain't got no money, you ain't hitting on nothing. If you ain't doing this, if you ain't jugging, if you ain't flexing, if you ain't smoking all your dead ops, and if you ain't rapping about that, you ain't finna be heard. I wish you would come up here and talk about have some standards and values. Have you listened to the gospel hip hop lately? I can barely tell the difference. But you have to listen to the words to get the message. Because if you listen to the words, you're like, well, this is a positive message. But it's almost a little construed and infected with some negativity if you're not careful, because they use some of the same words to get the attention.
Wow.
So it's like, you know, there's so many influences outside of our normal consciousness that also affects us and has us persuaded to do things we shouldn't be doing.
Good deal.
But that comes, you know, temptation works like that. You lower your standards and values, and you end up in that situation where you are, unless you do like Barack and Michelle.
Now tell us about 3 o'clock today, Rico.
If you missed today's broadcast and would like to see it or hear it in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dkmmediagroup.com.
Good deal. Anybody have anything? We're ready to go to Willie, and Willie ready to bring a word to us. You should be able to pray us out of here. Anybody have anything before we go? Everybody's okay? Willa!
Yes, Raheem.
Willa!
I'm ready to receive the word.
Let's do it,
I'm
Willa.
ready to receive the Holy Spirit. Thank you, Lord.
Yes, God.
Father, we thank you this morning. We thank you so much, Lord, for allowing us to get up.
Yes, God.
One to another, oh Lord. Father, we honor and glorify you this morning.
Yes.
We're asking you to keep continually giving us the knowledge and the wisdom that we need to continually go on in your name, Lord.
God.
Father, we know that it's the power that dwells in each and every last one of us that you give us, oh Lord. You surround us with your angels. Keep our family protected, oh Lord.
Yes, God.
Father, we thank you for that. We thank you for not having us ignorant, oh Lord. Father, we thank you for all you do for us. Father, we love, honor, and glorify you this morning. In Christ Jesus' name.
Hallelujah.
Amen, amen, amen.
Amen again.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. One more time.
Yes. Everybody okay? How they say in church? It's all hearts and minds are clear. Let us depart from this place. Well, we leave this place, Father God. We never leave your presence.
Amen.
You're always with us.
Always.
No matter where we go, what we encounter, or who we encounter. It's Cassandra. Cassandra, are you with us? Cassandra, I stepped away for a second. But listen, I want to thank everybody. Man, it's 10:17. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your day. It is now 10:17. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me 2 favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us, because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number 2, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And then we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other. And please, please, please be blessed.